Once again, we are back to the Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. This is Group 3, day number 2. So this day will be the last day for the group stage. And once again, we are your casters. My name is Annie, and tonight with me would be Mike. Mike, what's up?
Thank you so much for that, Annie. And yes, we are now down to the judgment day of group stage number three, which is gonna be very exciting. All these groups. So far, there are some few teams that have managed to give us an impression and give us a lot of expectations to on what's to come. But for the rest of these teams, they do still have chances, especially that only a few have managed to really rack up their scores. And again, to all of those teams that are still trying, they have the chance to be a part of the top five.
Yes, and there's still a chance for today. They have 6 maps to go. Of course, the usual one Sanhok, 3 Erangels, and 2 Miramars. And so, for these 18 teams that are vying for the last 5 spots in the finals, best of luck to them. And to those who already hold some of the top spots, especially those who have a lot of points already stored up for themselves, they can definitely sit back for a while, but of course it's better not to be complacent and still do your best, basically.
And yes, I think for match number one right here for Sanhok, we might be finishing a little bit early because the circle is really favored on the upper left side of the map, which is, I mean, I think almost half of the circle isn't even on the island. So that's going to be a hard time for all of those teams. But time wise, I think we'll be finishing us on a little bit sooner. A lot of teams they are not really in that circle, but once they do have to get into that circle, they will have to meet a lot of enemies along the way.
Yes, and that, and combined with the fact that there are some teams that actually landed in the same spot, in the same vicinity, there's a chance that there's a lot of early game engagements. And speaking of which, we can see the kill feed. There's actually some names coming up and about, seeing that as that the number of players has gone down from 70, more or less 70, and now we're down to 68. Definitely something's happening. And even as you can see in the camera on the screen, actually, there's a team pushing into the vicinity of one player, and of course they take one down within the building, and that's
Mhm.
actually our first team elimination already. It's not even been 3 minutes.
This is what I've been saying, especially that now that the teams have been when they landed, they tend to share a lot of a small area with a lot of teams, and this really sets that motion for Sanhok to be this fast game for now. But the rest of the other teams still trying to loot up while the rest are already going in for points, which again could actually set this pace for this game. But again, for all of the other teams right now, they still have time though to actually loot up. But the dangerous part of it is those teams that are ready to kill them, they have to be prepared.
Yes, everyone has to be prepared. Everyone has to be on the lookout because this is the last chance for these 18 teams to qualify for the finals. And of course, if this was your last chance, you would definitely put everything, everything, all your efforts and all your attention to this one day, to these last 6 maps. Because this isn't just the last chance for this group stage. This is the last day of the group stage, like basically. And in a few days, in 2 days' time, we're actually gonna be seeing the finals. And so this is very exciting. This is definitely one of the most exciting parts of the tournament. And we will be moving on to the finals. We'll see the top 5 of each group stage go against each other.
And with that in mind, the looking at right now this team, it's they're probably in this area. There are just a lot of teams, and with that, I think one of them will only remain, or maybe just left with a few members to each team. Though these two teams clearly dividing this area right here. Still, it would be probably very dangerous to face them early on, and the other teams as well still trying their best to go for looting and everything, just gearing up before they go to the circle, which is actually just just they it gives a little bit of space for all of these teams to try to fit through.
Yeah, there's a lot of space going on, especially in this area where Game Over OTF is sharing a compound with another squad and is seeing just the basically the drone shot. We can see that Game Over OTF has a lot of buildings covered, and so they have more or less the advantage when it comes to let's say control over the area. But over here 4 p.m, they're also, trying their best to find an angle, try to see if they can get some information and maybe pick off some members of Game Over TF. And over there we can see some sprays coming in from the side of Game Over OTF, trying to get some damage in the bag. They give away their location, but still they don't find any knocks that they need, and they're not getting any damage in the bag. And so for now, Game Over OTF, they will have to reposition because they have given away their location.
For our ARK esports, still they have that area. The good thing is there no one is there to contest that against them, but the bad thing later on is they probably will need a lot of kill points in order to rank up. But for now, still the rest of the teams right here with Game Over Esports going in with vehicles to try the best really to get inside the circle later on. And it's also very important for these teams to actually group up now that the other teams have also been getting a lot of kills right here, and it's just going to be dangerous later on. Maybe some will not get the chicken dinner, but some really have a lot of kill points. And now since MV Esports have been eliminated already, almost to the 7 minute mark right there, and already a few teams have been eliminated.
Lots of things happening on screen. 4 p.m. and OTF, they finally have their own skirmish against each other. 4 p.m. tries to get out of the house. OTF has control of the building, but the other side of this compound, 4 p.m, they are outside of the play zone. Although this is stage two. This is stage two. And so this isn't as alarming as you'd think it would be, but still 4 p.m, they're getting gate kept against this compound. They don't have much choice if they step outside. Game Over OTF
Oh,
has all the chance in the world
Fanatic
to
is
spray
down.
them down, but all the way we can see Oxford Esports against Game Over Esports. And Oxford Esports so far, they have the height advantage. They have the high ground. They're bombarding Game Over OTF. Game Over Esports rather gets one knock on their side, and so that's one down on the side of Game Over Esports. But it's, of course, it's not over just yet. Oxford Esports, they find that confirmation as well. But how long can this one player from Oxford Esports hold out 1 versus 1? He still wins that fight with very little health to go about.
Definitely right here, trying to fight back with a danger zone as well, trying to take him down, and that would actually mark as well their elimination. And now Oxford being eliminated sets the motion right here as early as 8 minutes into the game, and a lot of teams have been eliminated. There's another action right here. The sprays going in for the side of Game Over OTF, hoping to hit some of them and hoping to eliminate them, but that won't be enough just yet. The rest of them going for a heal up, trying to peek good shots, are really trying to connect right there, but he goes down, and the rest of his members also trying to help him up. And it's just gonna be a one team remaining for this part of the map as they have now finally engaged into action, and now Game Over OTF will be eliminated.
At 4 p.m, Vendetta wins that fight against Game Over OTF, but they have another problem. After looting this place up, they gotta get out of there. Lots of their players are still low on health from the revive, and so they got up and running. They have the health that they need, but they have to get out of there. They gotta walk away, and eventually, speaking of which, Game Over Esports, they go down. One player goes down, and so we have the last player standing on the side of Game Over Esports against Oxford Esports, and he's running away, but all the while, all the way from the other side of the map, and gets shot down by a member of JF, and that marks the end of Game Over Esports.
And yes, there we have it. We have said it a while ago. It could probably end very fast, and I think that the circle is trying to get to give a little bit more of space, since from that from that circle size a while ago, it shrink down, but it managed to give at least a few more area for all of these teams to fit through. But it seems like we will be seeing a fast end for now, especially that we are already at the 10-minute mark, and these teams still, there are a lot of them, but probably we will see them battling it all out later on.
Yes, and hopefully we can see that very soon. We can see from the leaderboards there are so many teams with their still their full roster, and some teams, of course, they lost one player. Well, give and take, but still. This is 10 minutes into the Sanhok map. We already saw several teams getting eliminated off the map. And so for those teams, it's definitely not a good start for them today, but they still have 5 chances left. And so for those who are still alive, for those teams that still have a chance in this map, they definitely have to do something different. They gotta rack up all those points, all those eliminations before, getting picked off eventually. And they gotta also gather all those resources, all those guns, all those ammos in order to prepare themselves for what's to come later on.
And now down to the last few teams remaining. Still a lot of them though. But with these, you also gotta look at the leaderboard right now. Currently, most of the teams alive have all of their members. Only one of them with a dead member. But the other teams are alive and kicking, just waiting for them to fully heal up for some of them. And I think that now there's gonna be an engagement. The vehicle comes in, the shots comes in as well, hoping to get them down, and they are indeed down, waiting for the confirmation on their side as well to get those points. And now seeing the edge of the play zone just nearly slowly shrinking. All of the teams right now are just gunning it right here. The shot's trying to finish him down, and it will, hoping to get one more, a few more before it will mark the end of another team right here.
And Aztecs, they actually eliminated 3 people from JF. And so they're trying to see if they can have a good angle against the last person in JF. Takes a lot of damage and he's down to 10% of his HP. But Aztec, they have his crosshairs behind his back. Does he know he's getting sandwiched? And with that, actually, Aztec goes down. And so JF, they live to see another day, but they're about to get eaten up by that circle. So he's got to reposition because this is potentially a pretty hard hitting circle. And with that last shot, Aztecs wipes off JF from the map.
Definitely, JF getting eliminated right there sets the motion for the last 10 teams right now as they are about to witness the end. The circle still shrinking and probably will shrink even more later on. And exactly, these teams are left with no choice but to just fight. And here we have as well the shots trying to connect, but he goes down in just one shot. The rest of the teammates right here also finishing them down, trying to challenge those enemies from the higher ground, which would really set him at a disadvantage, removes his upper hand right there. But now, if you do look at the other teams as well, still waiting for other teams to show up. They're hiding. They're just really behind those huts right now, on the top of the hills, just really traversing, looking for an area to go for safety. And exactly for all these teams, like for LNN right here, just waiting. I mean, just traveling around the circle right here to look for safe spots. But while that was happening, we got an off-screen kill right there.
And Ellen and Aztecs, they're in trouble. 4 VM Vendetta was on their tracks and they find the elimination that they need. And so 4 PM Vendetta, they actually end Aztecs' journey in this map. And so that's one less team on this Sanhok map. This is now, we're actually down to 9 teams left, and Oxford Esports right here. They're trying to find another shot on their side, but we can actually see from this area over here. There's so many people. There's a lot of squads in this area, and so this is about to be very fun in a few minutes. And so we can see NG rather. We can see NG on our screens, and so one of the top teams so far, they are actually top number one. We can see from the leaderboards, NG still holds the top number one spot. And so they still have only one elimination to their name. And so they're just waiting for the right moment to strike.
And now there we have it. You can see it from the map right here. The game looking for a fast end right here as all the teams are starting to meet each other in the center. Seems like one of the teams right there are already at the center, spots one of another team, but they seem to have escaped with a vehicle, and it seems like they get spotted as well by another team just right here.
Yes, lots of things happening, and that circle's actually favoring the area of NG, and so good for them. Definitely, that's one advantage that they have. But over here, too easy, trying to find a shot. They find another member of 4 p.m. Vendetta, gets that knock that they need, but they're looking for more moving targets. They're looking for more victims, basically. But over here, 4 p.m. Vendetta, they have control of a building. Arc is out in the open, however. This is a pretty bad shot. Bad location, rather, especially with there's a squad on the higher ground just hunting them down. But for the side of Tranquility, they're rotating out of the place. They're in a car, and now they're going in for the trace.
Ooh,
Gets one down,
that's
very low
one.
in health, however, but still manages to keep themselves alive. So they walk away with some health still standing, but they'll have to heal up soon. Another member of Tranquility holds that grenade, throws it, and actually, this is
Lons.
a one team eliminated off the map. That would be Lons, but not over just yet. Optical gamers, and they're trying to reposition, but they are nearby Tranquility.
And there we have it. Seems like one will go down as well, marking the end and the team elimination of course, too easy. And it seems like now 7 teams remaining. The grenade goes in, hoping to get one of them, but it seems like they're gonna be caught in a pickle with one member as well getting hit by that grenade. Will actually look for another way to find and to fight them back. But now Sons of Lons will be eliminated as well, and we're now down to the last 6 teams. And it seems like for some of these teams, they're left with 2 members, and a few of them with 3, and still some of them with a full squad remaining. The others right here, right, though still waiting for perfect opportunity to fight back, and it seems like they're just hiding behind that wall inside the hut even, and it's just gonna be a lot of bloodshed later on if they get spotted by these teams.
Yes, Tranquility is trying to spot, trying to find the kills that they need, but on the other hand, they're getting sprayed at instead. Loses a lot of health, but is still alive, and they have another chance in life. And so another member of Tranquility spots another squad nearby, and RS goes down, loses one member to the knock, and that will be confirmation as well on the side of
Mm-hmm.
Tranquility. That's one. That is actually 3 whole eliminations to just one person. And so it's not over just yet. Optical gamers, they're still in the game, and they spot NG. They spot a potential elimination, and they find that kill. Although they're not the one who knocked them down, but over here, Optical gamers finds another knock,
Oh, he goes
finds
down.
another elimination, but he gets
One
knocked
more.
down as well.
Ooh, definitely leaving that player with a little bit of health before he tries to fight back, and he goes for a heal right there, tries to recover himself. He almost gets killed by the play zone, and in fact, all of these teams right now, it's just gonna be a hard time for them to look for ways to try to fight them, of course, because it's just a little bit of an area. A lot of teams are sharing this one, but right now, looking behind the car right here, still going in for recovery. All of the teams, however, they seem to have a little bit of a disadvantage, especially that they can't get inside that area. It's just gonna be controlled by this one team. Now the others as well, still looking for ways to gun them down, hoping to get the chicken dinner. And it seems like using this smoke to get inside as well. He finds one, goes back into the play zone, looking for another way. Goes for a prone right here to dodge them, but it will be too late as they will get eliminated, and that's gonna be another elimination. A team, of course, for 4 p.m. Vendetta. Now down to the last 4 teams, 3 versus 1, and that's just gonna be a swift end and a chicken dinner for RGC Tranquility.
That ended so fast in just a matter of seconds. So many teams went down, and eventually, this led to the victory of RGC Tranquility with an overall rank shooting all the way up to number 3 with 20 match points. And that's just amazing. That was just absolutely amazing on the side of Tranquility. And within that few seconds, lots of things were happening. So many things were happening. And so many teams just went down in maybe a snap of a finger. But over here, we can see the individual team stats. And of course, our top fragger for this team would be Titan with 4 eliminations. Coming it next is Hani with 3, as well as N77 with 3. And Kal, he has 0 eliminations, although he got eliminated off at the 4 minute mark. And so that's quite understandable. But still, for these teams, that was just crazy. That last few seconds, it was basically eat or get eaten. Everyone's just getting gunned down, getting traded off. And so that was quite fun to watch. And in the end, Tranquility, they did have the numbers advantage on the get go. They had 3 people still left standing, and so that really helped bag that chicken dinner.
And there we have it with the 63 eliminations to start this match, to start this day, this judgment day for group stage number 3. And there we have it, our MVP for this match. That's going to be RGC Tranquility's Titan once again, bagging, of course, 4 eliminations and 700 plus damage. Of course, he will get 2 assists as well. And um, of course, 4 knockouts. The other players, the other MVPs for match number 7 are as follows. That's gonna be some of the members from 4 p.m. Vendetta, from Lons, and then another member from Tranquility, and it looks like the third member would go as well, grabbing that MVP.
Yes, and they have either 4 or 3 eliminations. And actually, this map went by quite fast. We ended at the 17-minute mark. And so that was a swift game, as you said, Mike. And that just went on because of the circle that just basically made it quite hard for these players for this first map. It's a good warm up, you know. But over here, we can see the match rankings. Of course, Tranquility, they have 20 points. Coming at second is VDT with 11. OG coming in third with 10, ARK and LNN and as well as NG both all have 7 rather. Too Easy has 6, Game Over, and JT had 5. That goes the same with Lons as well. Aztec has 3, that and same with OTR. Fnatic, SOL, they have 2 points. Oxford and Sins have 1, and OTF and WKD, unfortunately, they don't have any points for this match.
And there we have it, our match rankings for match number 7. And now here we have it, the overall ranking starting this judgment day, still holding the number 1 spot. That's going to be SDMZNG, with, of course, just a lot of points right there to be followed by Lons Esports with 72. RGC Tranquility back to third spot. Optical Gamers will join as well in the fourth place. And Sons of Lons currently holding the fifth place.
Yes, and for those who are still vying for to qualify rather for the finals, the fifth spot is still at 43 points. And so for those who are within the 30-point mark or maybe even the 20, they still have a chance to overtake the fifth spot and then potentially
Exactly.
get a spot in the finals. And that's for the likes of, say, Too Easy Esports. They're only a few points away. They have 38 points, in fact. And so, you know, these teams, especially those who still have a chance, they still have a chance in the next 5 maps. They gotta work extra hard if they want to qualify.
Exactly. And with that as well marks the second page of the overall rankings. And again, they still have a chance right here if they're at the 30 point mark or a 20 plus right there. But it will take a lot of effort, because especially that all of the other teams are just gonna give it their all as well to maintain their number, their current spot, to be able to join the finals with, of course, the other teams from the other groups. And for now, here we have it, our overall top players. Once again, that's going to be from the side of Lons, Tranquility as well, and as the MZNG right here joining. And of course, the other teams, especially with Too Easy right there. And with that in mind, it's just gonna be exciting later on to witness the last 5 matches for this group.
Yes, same players, same top players that we've seen in the past few matches. And so once again, that was match number one for our day two of the group three stage. And we will be moving on to the second match of today in a few minutes. But for now, we'll be taking a break. So for those of you tuning in, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Once again, we are now back. Match number 8. We will see them later on as all of these teams have been trying their best to get to the top 5 before they move on to the finals. We are your shoutcasters once again. I am Mike, and with me is Annie.
Yes, and we are back. And we're gonna see match number two right now, our first Erangel map for today, in fact. And so for the teams, they had their first match. They had their warm-up map. Basically, this was Sanhok, and now we're gonna move on to Erangel. There's still, of course, I've said this before, there are teams that fare better in Erangel, and there are some teams that fare better in Miramar, and that goes the same with Sanhok as well. And so for the teams that really have Erangel as their best map, they have three chances to bag as much points as possible later on. And in a few minutes and maybe a few seconds, we'll be seeing the flight path. But for now, do you have any expectations for this next map, Moik?
I mean, for Erangel, I don't know. It will depend on the flight path and the circle, and it's gonna be the first match, the first attempt, in Erangel, so they will have two more chances later on. But for now, I think they're also just testing the waters right here, and that the flight path from the bottom, of course, from the middle right part of the map. That's gonna be a little bit disadvantageous for all of these teams, if, especially if the circle later on will go to the top left side.
Really, that flight path a while ago in Sanhok probably set the tone for the rest of the maps, for the rest of the flight paths, because that flight path is quite horrible. I'm not even gonna mince my words. this is gonna be quite hard for the teams to work with because they have so little room to kind of navigate around. There's so little choices for drop off points. I'm pretty sure that it's as far as Pochinki or Quarry goes. With this flight path, it's quite hard to get to maybe even the hospital. That's quite a stretch already, or maybe Stalber. But it might be possible with cars, but you definitely can't get to that within the stage one circle unless you really, try your best to get those cars and, prioritize trans transporting yourself to your best drop off point.
And yes, there we have it as well. The circle still favored on the upper right side, which gives them a little bit of a room to breathe, especially for those that are landing in the middle part of the map. They will have an area later on to go up about. And yeah, I mean the other teams right here, they it gives them more of a freedom compared to the last match with Sanhok, which was really just cruel to all of these teams. So for now, they will have a lot of chance to think their strategies and to actually execute them later on very smoothly.
Yeah. And hopefully something happens really soon because Too Easy Esports, they landed in the same vicinity as another squad and we can already see something happening in the kill feed. There's an early game engagement between two teams and we can see that there's a first blood already coming up. That will be at the side of AZT. They already lost. I mean, rather, they have one member that needs that revive. Although, for the side of Oxford, they have two players down, I believe, or maybe went in the game with the less players, but definitely they're down to two-man team. But for BM Vendetta, they find a one versus one against a player from another team. They get one elimination in the bag, and so that's a good start. But that doesn't go the same with Oxford. They're down to their last player, and it's still so early on into the game. You know, this is quite bad luck, especially since, you want the best loot in the bag and you want as much members as possible. But over here, 4 p.m. Vendetta's going well with them. They already find one more on their side against Too Easy.
And there we have it. Oxford as well will have to be eliminated, the first team to be eliminated for this match. And, they will still have a chance later on. But for now, we'll focus on the game with Ellen and Aztecs with a vehicle already in their hand that's going to be useful later on, especially when they go to the circle, which should probably useful if they go from the very, just rotate around that map and just go in from that um from all behind all of those teams. But for now, it seems that for other teams as well, they're on the looting phase with Too Easy Esports right here, still managing. Of course, especially that there's not a team just trying to contest them from that area. But all is well for all of these teams.
Yeah, everyone's back to the looting phase, and everyone's just doing their best to kind of prepare for what's to come later on. And it's once again quiet. We're going into the quiet part of the map. It's the early game engagements. They might be over for now, and that circle it's gonna close in towards the northeastern side of the map. And so all we can really do is wait because although there's some squads that are in the same vicinity, they're in the same area, it doesn't seem that any of them are trying to start any engagements. They're not trying to initiate any fights. And so it's a waiting game for everyone involved. It's a waiting game for these squads, and it's a waiting game for those watching as well.
For the side, of course, of the other teams right here, they're out in the open, which puts them at a disadvantage. But I think they also know that there will be no teams just looking to snipe them down just yet. The others as well still just on this looting phase right now, especially that the circle is a bit of generous and very considerate to them, so they can really just have the time that they want right here to prepare, to loot up, and to gear up for the fight later on that will be happening. But for now, the shots trying to connect gets one down from the kill feed right there. The shots still managing to hit them, hit the bodies. Of course, it's gonna go for a few taps right there. Another one trying to hit them down, but he gets tapped instead, and he will have to retreat from there. And Esports will have to heal up. The rest of these teams as well, still with their vehicles, will probably look for another way to go for engagements later on. But for now, they're trying to engage into the fight in a very open area, which puts them at a disadvantage. But we do have an off-screen kill right there with a shotgun, and with that in mind, the rest of these teams still have a chance to fight later on.
And game over OTF. They are in the vicinity of Too Easy Esports. And on the side of Too Easy Esports, they do have control over the building, and that's an advantage for them. But a game over OTR, they're just waiting for the right moment to strike, basically. But Too Easy Esports, they're also thinking the same thing. They have the crosshairs out trying to find any potential pickoffs. They won't be finding them just yet. And over there, game over OTF, they find a control over a building, and so that's going good for them. Too Easy Esports is actually getting sandwiched between two squads. They also have to worry about LNN at the distance. LNN has managed to secure one building, but Too Easy Esports attempts to bombard them with a grenade. Doesn't find the damage, however, that they need. But right now, just repositioning. Although they have given away information that they are there, still, they're trying their best to get those eliminations in the bag. And so far, no one's pushing into their area. Game over. They have to rotating out of there and trying to reposition, trying to find a better angle to approach this. They know there's someone there. They know there's potential eliminations to be had, and so they're just rethinking their strategy for now.
And with now game over OTF, a little bit separated from both of these teams, though they're already going for the regrouping right here. But for now, they have the space all to themselves. Nothing will be happening as of now, especially that the circle is really generous to all of these teams. It will be probably a slow burn for this game, especially that they're not really they're actually taking the time to loot and to gear up before they move towards the circle. Now, with that as well, it seems like for the side of Too Easy Esports, they will spot on enemy and just really waiting for the perfect time to go for the engagement. Here, on the other hand, it seems like we will be seeing a lot of action with the grenades going in as well, hoping to get them down. But it seems like they're clearly hidden from sight, and it seems like they will not be taken down as of now.
Sons of Lawns taking their positions, and Easy Sports, they're still at it. They're still trying to get those sprays. Still trying to get those bullets to connect, but they just can't find the damage that they need. And over here, Sons of Lawns, they also have their own story to tell. They're positioned all around this building. Potentially, this would be a 3 or 4 versus 1. Too Easy Esports pushing in. Can't find the damage, can't find the knock, and gets knocked out instead. None the wiser. Someone else walks into the room while they had their attention on another person, and that would actually be the end of LNN on the side of on the hands of Sons of Lawns rather. And so it's not over just yet. Sons of Lawns, they do need to revive one of their members, and those bullets coming in, that just
Oh,
attracted attention from Too
another one,
Easy Esports, and with that grenade actually takes
another
down
one.
several members on their side. And Too Easy Esports is not over for them just yet. They want more. They want more eliminations, and so they're bombarding their area with even more grenades.
And there we have it. It seems like we will be getting an elimination right here. Depends on how these teams will react against each other. But for now, we will also manage to find an off-screen kill right there. The grenade goes in, hoping to get him down, and he will need some revive from his teammates right here. Prepared to fight. The shot's trying to connect, but it was just too late as he was just ambushed for a lot of these members, and that would mark the end for Sons of Lawns.
And that's one less team standing in this second match. And so for the teams that got eliminated off, they still have 4 more chances. And not to put the pressure on them, still that's very little chances left for the teams that haven't yet qualified in the top 5. They gotta work extra hard. But speaking of extra hard, we can actually see an elimination at the kill feed just now. Several knocks going down as well. And so some of these teams, they're in trouble. And that goes the same with a game over esports. They need to revive one of their players, but so far I don't think they have the luxury of doing just that because they are out in the open and they are getting bombarded from all directions. And speaking of which, Game Over Esports, they're in trouble. They're out in the open. They only have a car as cover, and no, they're trying to get some bullets in the bag, trying to shoot their shots. And now they have their grenades in hand. However, they are getting shot at by WKD. WKD finds some damage on their side. But on the other hand, they do have one person knocked on their side. But Game Over Esports, they're down to two players. They are in trouble. WKD is just surrounding them, circling around like a bunch of vultures. And WKD, they want those eliminations in the bag. And Game Over Esports, they're at a disadvantage right now.
And there we have it, the team eliminations for Lons, the second current placer right now. The other is trying to heal up, but it seems like he got spotted right there. He goes down, waiting to confirm that kill through the spray, but the smoke will protect him from that. He will probably get killed by the rest of his teammates right here, but it seems like there will be another action for this side, and that would actually mark the elimination from the side of Game Over Esports. And there we have it. A few teams just alive on in this area. They at least managed to get by and to heal up the rest of the teams as well. Looking good for the side of SDMZ NG. Two members will be alive and just be waiting for replacement points later on. But for the other teams right here, it seems like they will be looking for another areas to spot, to actually look for enemies to go for the hunt, especially that some of them will really have to rack up points from now on, that we have just a few more games before this will conclude, before we'll finally get to see our top 15 teams that will be fighting in the finals.
As you can see from the leaderboard, a lot of the upper halves of the leaderboards, they're actually eliminated off already. So for those who are on the top 11 and below, they have lots of chances to try and bag more points against them. But over here, Arc Esports are getting bombarded and loses a lot of health. But on the other hand, they're also fighting back against JF. And so who will win from both these teams? It seems that Arc, they have one knock on their side, and potentially JF could find that elimination that they need, and so they're pushing in to the area where Arc is. And they can't find the information just yet, and they're just looking for the right angle to strike. JF takes some damage, 30% off of their health, in fact. And now JF, one of their members, very low on health, but they're not stopping anytime soon. They want that damage. They want Arc against them, and so they're pushing into the building. Arc moves away from the staircase and they get their sprays on, but Arc is at a numbers disadvantage, but they get caught off guard, and within that stairs he goes down as a knock, and that might be an elimination on their side.
And there we have it as well. The rest of these teams still hiding, especially behind this door. If he gets spotted, he's just gonna go down. And it seems like they have missed him once again, trying to get inside this house, trying to raid, especially that he's just behind this one. This is gonna be a very, very close one, and this is gonna be exciting. The shots trying to connect right there. He tries to fight back, even in the tight space, but he goes down, and that would actually mark the elimination for the team of ARK.
And so JF actually wins against Arc Esports, and so they walk away with three players still standing. They did lose one, but they do have three eliminations as well. And so, that's a good trade off. That's a pretty good trade off, and they have to kind of work extra hard in the next engagements to come, because they are down by one player, and so they might have that chance real soon. There's another squad nearby, and so that's a potential engagement on their side. But for now, they just got out straight from another engagement. They're fresh off an engagement, and so they'll have to reset. And so for the other squad nearby, the best thing that they can do is kind of push in while JF is still healing up. That's the best thing that they can do. But they don't have that information just yet. JF is already up and running. They're trying to get their shots in the bag, but none of that damage is just doing it for them, and they're too easy. They managed to dodge those bullets against JF, and so they're just trading. They're just trading right now. No one's going down just yet, and so we're just waiting. We're just waiting. Who will get knocked down first?
And there we have it. The scope goes in, hoping to get a few shots down before they confirm the kill, and a few taps hits them, leaving with low HP remaining. Still get spotted right there. It's gonna be a difficult time for them to actually fight back. Still manages to land a few shots, however, and with that in mind, with too easy right here, seems like they will move and probably look for a way to end them as soon as possible before they can move to the play zone. Right now, the danger zone will shrink and would probably be against them. But and right now they're currently being spotted by a lot of teams as well, and it's just gonna be a matter of time before they will have to face them. But for the rest of these teams as well, they will manage to find a few kills in the kill feed right now, and it seems like for the other teams with INS as well, looking for another place to actually scout for some enemies. But while that was happening, seems like Fnatic will go down right there. And with that in mind, these teams once again preparing for another engagement later on, especially that the circle will start to shrink in a few seconds. For 4 p.m. Vendetta as well, they will go down and would probably see they would we would probably see maybe a fast engagement from now on for all of these teams. Still manages to find a few of them. The shots go in, hoping to get him down, but that wouldn't be enough, leaving of course him with at least a half life remaining. And it will they actually managed to get him down, just to confirm that kill once again. The rest of these members as well. For their team, they're actually kind of exposed, which is just gonna be disadvantageous. But for the other teams, they have fortunately landed and really just stayed on this edge of the circle.
Yeah, and actually, lots of things were happening back there since MV. I don't think they found the finisher that they needed. But over here, too easy. They are rotating out of the area, trying to find a better spot. And since MV, once again, they spot another squad and they're trying to push into the area, trying to go on the aggressive, trying to find a kill that they need, just one kill that they need. Because so far, they couldn't find that just yet. Too easy sports, they're not in the most ideal of spots. And since MV, they're just on the other side of this elevation. And so it's just a matter of who shows their head first, who peaks first. And with that, whichever team, has a faster reaction time, perhaps, they go in and swoop in for the punish. But so far, that's not happening just yet. We can see Too Easy is actually repositioning. And since MV also, they have their vehicles out, they're just trying to find a better spot, a better way to approach this engagement. But so far, they can't find the opening that they need just yet.
And with that in mind, these other teams have been preparing, especially that they're aware and they just need some accurate information on where the other teams have stayed and have hidden themselves. For all of these teams right now, still managed to get one down, just waiting for that elimination right there to confirm it. And it seems like one of them gets spotted and gets down, once again waiting to confirm that kill. But for the other members, they have managed to get inside the danger zone to try to look for a way to get inside safely and to try to flank him down. But it seems like he got spotted once again. A few taps, still manages to survive and just waits for his team to be revived and before they could actually fight back. But for now, it seems like they have start rushing in as the MZNG will be eliminated as well off screen. And it seems like they are now finishing this one off, cleaning them down, and that would mark an elimination for Team Since MV Esports.
One after the other, people going down like ashes. And so, OG over here, Optical Gamers, they have one person down on their side. And for the side of Too Easy, they're still a four-man team. They managed to survive several engagements, and so this good survivability. It's a good omen for them. And now they have the grenades out, trying to find a potential pick off. And so two grenades go in. Will they find the damage that they need? So far, that's a no. That question would be answered with a no for now. Trying to get the sprays in. They can't find any information just yet. There's no one nearby. And so they're just gonna keep moving. They're just gonna keep moving because they're out in the open field. It's not the most ideal spot for them to be in. And for everyone else, doesn't seem like they are engaging, they are initiating fights. Because we can see from the kill feed, it's quite quiet. And over here, Outrage Esports, the last person standing. They're actually just kind of hiding in this building, trying to survive. Maybe get some placement points. That's the best thing that they can do for their team right now.
And now the shots coming in, hoping to get him down, but he will go down. The vehicle right there, hoping to actually confirm that kill once again. And it seems like they're slowly fighting back right here. An elimination for the side of OG, and it seems like we are down to the last 7 teams, probably seeing an end right here. Especially that they're all out in the open. The only thing that can cover them right now are just trees and rocks, but there are just a lot of teams from all directions that would be still very hard. The smokes would probably help them, but for the rest of these teams, once again, trying to fight back, they only have the high ground advantage right here. If they do, they can actually have the fighting chance. But for now, it seems like they're taking their time right here, just waiting for other teams to fight it all out before they can engage for the cleanup. It seems like one of their member as well gets downed and will have to seek some revive. Still, the other teams hoping to connect the shots. Will Ellen right here? He gets the few shots, but of course that wouldn't be enough for now the other team as well. Hoping to find someone. Gets a down right there. And another as well, hoping to get it down, get it confirmed once again. And it seems like still we are down to the last 7 teams, low on health, and he goes down. Just one member remaining from his team before they can make it out alive. And that would be hard, especially for those teams that are already full, and especially that those teams have managed to get inside the houses right now. Elimination for the side of OTR, and now another elimination as well for the side of WKD.
And with that, we're down to 4 teams and 8 players left standing, one after the other. Teams go down, and within this circle, damage is taking a lot of health, chipping a lot of health, especially on Tranquility, but a game over OT after getting sprayed on, very low on health on one of their members, but they managed to heal up on the ground, and so they live to see another day. And wow, we're back. We're definitely back to 4 teams. You can see JF still up in the running. That goes the same with OTF, Too Easy and Tranquility. And so for these 4 teams, for these 8 last players, they're just waiting and biding their time, and we can see for the kill feed, there's already a knock going down. That's the first person down from the side of one of these teams, and so JF versus Too Easy in this door frame, and so 1 versus 1. Who will come out victorious? So far, none of those bullets are connecting, and so JF, they get a little bit impatient, goes into the room, and they get knocked down, gets punished by that. And now, Tranquility, they're inside of this building. And so, once again, JF, actually, that was their last player, and that is the mark. That is the mark that finishes off their team for now.
And now down to the last 3 teams once again, with OTF with a very big chance of making it out here alive with 3 members up and running. Tranquility with 2 members as well, with Too Easy, the last member standing, just hoping to get them down before he goes for the cleanup. So for game over OTF right here, just manages to find them down. That would mark the end of Tranquility, and that's gonna be winner chicken dinner for game over OTF in match number 8.
And once again, just like the previous match, with the blink of an eye, lots of things happened. And now we are on the chicken dinner screen. And so, with an overall rank of 11, congratulations to Game Over OTF for bagging 12 match points for this map. And so, with that, we can see the individual team stats for these players. And for, of course, OTF's Firut with 1 elimination and Zainti with 1 elimination. They don't have a lot of eliminations, that's true, but in the end, they did get 10 whole points from placing first in this game all the while. Get that winner chicken dinner all the while. And so that's still 10 points. That's still 10 points that they honestly earned well. And that's also 2 eliminations to their name. Once again, congratulations to Game Over OTF. They are now on the top 11 on the leaderboard.
And with that in mind, match number 8 will go down right now, and 7,081 healing. Another, it was a fast game as well, so it's still a lot for 7,000 healing in a fast game. But for now, we have our MVP. That's gonna be Sage, and with of course with 6 eliminations right here and 477 damage. They're giving, the damage not really that much, but they do manage to get 6 points for their team. And of course, the other top players, that's going to be followed by from Too Easy, from Ozo SDMZ NG, from WKD once again, and from 4 p.m. Vendetta.
Yeah, and we can actually see Chubby01 from Too Easy. They bag 777 damage all by themselves. But all the while, we can see the match rankings. Actually, WKD, although they didn't get the winner chicken dinner, they didn't even place second on the top teams who got eliminated actually walk away with 16 points. They have 14
Mhm.
eliminations. And coming in second is Too Easy with 15 points. And all the way at third, the winner chicken dinner game over OTF. They walk away with 12 points from this game. And so OJF, of course, with 10 and Tranquility with 9 points. For VDT, AZT, and NG, they all walk away with 6 points, and OG with five. And so that's, this is quite an interesting match rankings for this map, especially with WKD. I don't think they were even part of the top four teams that survived. I bet they were top five because they do have two placement points. And so still, 14 eliminations. That's quite impressive. That's quite impressive for the side of WKD. This is definitely a good game and a good momentum starter for them.
Mm-hmm. And we have here our overall ranking still holding the number one spot right there as the MZMG. After match number eight, nothing really. It wasn't. They didn't have a lot of points, but still they managed to hold the number one spot, to be followed by Lons Esports, and then Tranquility with in the third place right now. Optical Gamers as well holding the number fourth spot, and Too Easy Esports holding the fifth.
Yeah, and G, they still managed to defend their number one spot and they almost crossed the three-digit mark. And they are at 95 right now, but in the next maps, that's probably gonna go up to more than 100. And coming in second, Lance Esports is quite a far cry from the 95. They are at 74. Although they can still overtake the first spot still. It's still quite a long way. They'll probably need a chicken dinner and several, more than 10 perhaps eliminations in the next map. But still, for these teams, all of them actually, for all 18 teams, they still have four more chances later on. And so, just taking a look at the leaderboards, they probably have a good idea on how hard they have to work, how extra hard they have to work in these next four matches if they want to qualify for the finals.
Mm-hmm. And we will have the last four matches for group stage number three later on. But while everything is still going down, here we have as well our overall top players once again holding the number one spot right here with Lons Shava, to be followed by Titan from RGC Tranquility, SDMG, SDMZNGs, Zeke 66, and also from Too Easy Esports right here with Chubby01, and the another member from SDMZNG, that's gonna be Aman 24.
Yeah, still the same household names and very consistent on their part, still holding their titles as the players, especially Shava. No one has managed to overtake him just yet. So, congratulations once again to our top players, and congratulations for the teams that so far have enough points to, bag those top spots in the leaderboards. And once again, that was match number two for today. We'll be moving on after a short break. All right, we are back to match number three of today. And once again, this is Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. We're not wasting any more time. We can see that the flight path is still quite the same from the previous game, giving these players a really hard time. And that circle, however, that's quite up north. And so for these teams, they have to think about number one, where they're gonna drop, and number two, how to get into that circle from where they dropped off. And once again, we are your casters. My name is Annie, and tonight with me would be Mike. Mike, what's up?
Thank you so much for that, Annie. And there we have it. Seems like you were right. The flight path is still a little bit. It was a little bit stretched and extended right now, but for the circle, it's still the same a while ago. And for two easy esports, I love how they just landed into this vehicle right here. I just went straight into it and would probably go into the circle, probably looking like it, especially that they would be the first team to get through there. And it seems like right now they have divided themselves equally with those vehicles so that they can use it later on. But it seems like right now, and we can get a few off-screen kills right there from SMGs to VSS, and right now it's just gonna be a lot of bloodshed, especially that a lot of teams will be crossing towards that circle. But surprisingly, it seems like a lot of teams are landing near each other, and they're just gonna have to share spaces against each other right now, going in for a couple of duels right there, hoping to get them down. And it's just these teams once again. The shotgun goes in surprisingly, but he goes down as the other member was able to avenge him, and that would mark the end for Fnatic.
So already one team down by the hands of NG. And NG, they only suffered with one player getting knocked down. And so with an easy revive, they walk away with all four players standing. And they even have four eliminations already to their name. And so it was quite unfortunate for the other squad. But still, for NG, this is a good start. This is quite a good start for them, and so hopefully we can see a really good momentum coming in for their side.
And again, for all of these teams, it's looking pretty good. Especially, I think it sets the motion right here for the tempo on this game. But if we do expect a lot of engagements right now, then later on would probably a slow burn for all of these teams. Especially that they will look for ways to go into the circle, and they will succeed. But for now, at this point, it seems like looting up is not really their main priority, especially that there are a lot of teams just near them. So they have to be very careful and they just have to eliminate them before they can go for looting stage. But for now, once again, just carefully going into another house to secure a lot of loot and gear up, especially that, some of them still have decent armor, but they will have to get a lot of level 3 armors later on.
Yes, and that's what they should be worrying about right now. It would be the looting phase, trying to get as much resources as possible, especially for those teams that they know there's another squad that landed near, especially for the likes of LNN over here. They need to get as much resources as possible as they can because they know there's be a potential engagement later on, and it's not going to be easy to rotate at once they get into those vehicles. They're gonna get shot at, and so they gotta deal with the squads that are nearby the
And there we have it as well. All of these teams right now still trying to look for ways to take them down, and especially they're very, very careful to spot each other. If they get spotted, then they will have no choice but to just fight them to the death. But right now, it's still gonna be too early. We can't really say much on what's gonna happen, especially later on when they're done with their looting. They can just go away from all of these teams and just prioritize later for the placement points. So far, the other teams right here, right now, they are near each other, but we will not be looking for a fast engagement right now.
Yes, and hopefully we can see some engagement happening very, very soon. Because for now, we're entering the quiet phase of the map. Everyone's just waiting for the right moment to strike. Everyone's just looking out, trying to get information. All the while, we can see actually WKD, they are rotating out of the area, trying to find a better spot. And they have that luxury because it seems that they haven't run into any other teams just yet. And so they have the opportunity to kind of find another place to take position. Oh, but it doesn't seem to be the same case with Sons of Lawns over here. They find an engagement. They have one player on the knock. You need to revive that one player if they want to keep their four-man squad. And so, game over OTF over here. Trying to find a good position and trying to see if they can get a knock on the side of Lawns. And so, game over. They lose. Two players. One needs a revive and one was completely finished by the handsome sons of Lance. And so we're just kind of gonna keep watching these two teams because this is probably gonna end up with one team getting completely eliminated off the map.
Hmm. For now, all of these other teams still on their way to go to gear up, but it seems like right here we can see some action. Austin Guilds goes right here, he goes out and he peeks them down, tries to get them down in a surprising off angle right here, and one of them will try to fight them off, but it seems like right now they're just inside the house, taking their time right here. The grenade goes in, hoping to get one down. One member will go up, and will the rest will just have to wait this one out before they can take them out. But for now, and just a bunch of grenades exchanging against each other right here. They try to fight them off. Game over OTF. Another grenade goes in, hoping to get them down, but none will go down for now. Still a lot of engagements though, with their SMG trying to fight them off guard, but it seems like the Sons of Lons have separated themselves and just have hidden behind this wall.
Yeah, and that's happening right now. Sons of Lawns. They're on a standstill, but now game over OTF. They're going
Oh,
on aggressive, but in the end, they're goes down. Sons of Lawns, one of their players, they survive with so little health and even get a one elimination, although they're not the ones who peaked. And you can see the last player of Game Over OTF. They're getting out of there. They're like, nah, I'm the last player standing. I'm gonna play it safe, you know? They know that there's still multiple players standing on the side of Sons of Law, so he's gotta rethink how he's gonna approach this. And it seems that he's not disengaging just yet. He's just trying to find another angle to approach this initiation. But over here, Game Over Esports, in their cars, do they find an elimination that they need? It seems that OG, on the other hand, in some other part of the map, they do get picked off, and so that's one less team on the running in this Erangel map.
and there we have it. Still their second chance to fight them off at Erangel. They will have their third chance later on, which hopefully is gonna be very generous. Hopefully the circle will be very generous to them. But right now it seems like we are now closing in the danger zone, already starting to hurt, but not really yet. Though the main threat right now, it will be the other teams that will have to beat them later on. But it seems like right now in the off screen we get a few kills right there, just waiting for the confirmation. And it seems like they will find another enemy right there down, just waiting to get that kill once again, while the others are still looking for areas to take control and to fight the other enemies later on. But with other teams right now, still there's gonna be they're gonna be finding a lot of enemies that the shots trying to go in, hoping to connect, and there's a lot of rapid tapping right now, hoping to get them down, but it just wouldn't connect. It will leave them, of course, with still health. But for now, all of the other teams still very trying their best to be very careful, especially that one is already spotted and it's probably getting hit right now inside their car. The others, they will manage to escape as well and just trying their best to move away from the battlefield right now, hoping not to get shot. And it seems like right now they will live.
Since MV is gonna decide to disengage, but Oxford Esports, they're in the vicinity of another squad. They disembark and get shot down immediately. That's a wrong move right there. And now they're down to one player. They're down by one player rather. In NG over here, they do have one elimination in the bag, trying to find their second. Still, Oxford Esports, they're in trouble. They're getting shot up by their car. Disembarks the vehicle. And so that goes the same with NG rather. One versus one behind this car, behind this vehicle rather. And so with that, the victory goes to NG for now. And so with a blink of an eye, actually, that was basically Oxford Esports getting wiped out by the hands of NG.
And there we have it. We will get a lot of loot from that one, just to really prepare for the fights later on. And it seems like right now we are now slowly getting into action. Especially that one will find another kill from there, looking away, hoping to get another shots from that far away enemy. But will have to get very hurt, so he has to just move back and to heal up. The others, however, it seems like the danger zone has already caught up to them, and they will have to move away while still recognizing a lot of enemies are trying to take them down. Smoke goes in, hoping to provide him cover, and he'll go for a heal right there. Still, the shots hoping to get it down, hoping to connect to the bodies, but it won't just be enough. The danger zone already starting to hurt a little bit. They will probably have to move away and to just look for areas to actually take control later on.
Yeah, NG, they're gonna have to reposition, but they are getting shot at. And so this engagement's not over just yet. And so whether or not they'll continue on with this fight, that's something that they have to decide on because that circle is not favoring them. But on the other hand, in some other parts of the map, everyone's just kind of waiting for the right moment to strike. And so far, they're not striking just yet. No one's engaging just yet. The kill feed is a little bit quiet, and so everyone's just finding some information, perhaps looting as well. Lots of cars in the vicinity. This could be a potential engagement, but it's not happening just yet. But once these vehicles kind of, run into each other, it's gonna be over. But for now, it's still an open field. Everyone's just trying to take into positions, trying to get into the circle and try to, secure a spot for the late game. But for now, that's just what's happening right now. And I would say that the kill feed's quiet, but definitely not because Game Over Esports, they're trying to get their shot in against another squad at the distance. They find some knocks, but on the other hand, on their side, there's only one player left standing, but all the way from the other side of the map. Wow, that is a shot so far that 4 p.m. Vendetta wipes off Game Over Esports from the game. And so 4 p.m. Vendetta, it's not over for them just yet. They're looking for another engagement. They're looking for another elimination. So far, they only found one against Game Over Esports. And so another team, they heard those shots. They're trying to get an engagement in the bag. And so 4 p.m., they're getting bombarded at the area that they have control of. So they have to reposition. They have to find another way to approach this because they are getting pushed at. The other squad, they're very aggressive. Skillity over here pushing in to the area, trying to find 4 p.m. Vendetta, trying to find those eliminations. And so, will they find the kills that they need? That would be the question.
And that would actually end the team for S since MVE Sports right now. The grenades hoping to get them again and again, still hoping to get that kill, but just a lot of smokes, a lot of grenades. That's just gonna be very challenging from now on, especially that now there are a lot of teams in a very small area sharing the space all together, which is gonna be hard. We will have to know later on which teams are gonna survive and probably move away from this one, but for now, it's just gonna we're gonna be very invested on this one. There's just a lot of enemies from all angles, and it seems like right now again going for engagements, very careful not to not really waste a lot of their throwables to for them to use that later on. Still hoping to find a few enemies from the far or from far away, but it seems like they won't be getting any. However, on the kill feed, we will see some of them getting a few kills of their own, probably adding as well to their points, while especially it's gonna be the last four games for all of these teams right here, hoping to get to the top five. But for now, it seems like another vehicle has passed once again, and just waiting for all of these members to catch up before they can have a few kills of their own.
Yeah. And so everyone's just waiting, really. Everyone's just waiting for an opportunity to rack up some points. Too easy. They might find just that. They're trying to get some shots in the bag. They see a moving vehicle and they're taking that chance against LNN. And so they don't find the damage just yet. They don't connect the bullets just yet. but they're gonna still try. Although LNN, they probably found the information that they need, and all the while, of course, also getting those shots and trying to spray on another squad nearby. And there's actually several squads nearby, Tranquility being one of them. They have one player that needs a revive, but they're throwing that grenade all the while, still going on the aggressive, trying to find some kills in the bag. But they do have control over this building, and so something good for them. But all the while, there's another squad nearby. It might be 4 p.m. And so they still have to worry about the squad and the team nearby. They're gonna get shot if they let the guard down for even just 1 second.
And there we have it once again. The shots going in. They will manage. Other teams will actually get some few kills of their own. And they're now down to the last 10 teams once again. For all of these teams, still trying their best to fight back here. They get spotted. The shot goes in, hoping to get them down. Still leaves with a few health of their own. But one will go down. The grenades going down once again, hoping to kill them once and for all. But for now, a couple of sprays to get them really to scare them away from each other. But it seems like they are cornered right now. Just Molotov right here. They have to get out. They have to go for engagement once and for all, or just to end them. And they will get a few kills of their own, adding it to their team once again, hoping to be a part of the top five, and that would mark the elimination for, of course, the team right here, and it's gonna be very, very challenging for the rest of these teams to actually get this chicken dinner.
This was a mess on the side of Tranquility. There were so many things happening, and for sure, 4 p.m. Vendetta from the other side of this compound, they heard all, and they have this chance. They have a chance to push in, knowing that Tranquility is still trying to reset from that previous engagement. But so far, 4 p.m. Vendetta, they're not taking that chance just yet. They're looking for a better approach from this situation. But all the while, we can actually see a third party coming in. That's another squad nearby, the purple squad. They're probably gonna try and swoop up and try to clean up the mess. All the while, fourth party on the name of JF, they got knocked down from their cars. So that was not a good approach. That was definitely not a good approach. And so 4 p.m. they're just finding that finisher, and they got one more elimination bag, and actually that marks the end of Game Over OTF.
And with that in mind, you're down to the last few teams right here. Still in this area, we have not seen any engagements for both of these teams. However, they have managed to surround them. Probably the only thing that could push them later on is gonna be the danger zone. But for now, they are safe in the off screen. However, we get a few kills, a grenade elimination as well. Hoping to confirm that, and just another grenade to throw that as well. But it seems like right now they're just protecting each other at this point. And really, I mean, some of these members are just really low on health, just waiting to get down. But for the side of ARK Esports right here, he manages to survive in just one bullet remaining. He could have died right there, but that would mark the end for another team. And right now, another grenade going in, hoping to get a few members down once again, but they won't find that just yet. For RGC Tranquility, however, the grenade they will try to reply that with a grenade as well, hoping to get it down, but it seems like he got spotted. The shots coming in, hoping to get him down, and that's gonna be an elimination for WKD.
Yeah, 4 p.m. Vendetta versus Tranquility. They've been going on for how many minutes, and they still haven't wiped each other out. And so we'll just have to wait and see who survives that, because it's taking quite a while. 4 p.m. and Tranquility, they're biding their time. They're just taking their time, trying to find the best engagement, the best initiation. But for the side of Ellen and Aztecs, not much going on for their side, but not the same thing for ARK. They are getting sprayed at. And all the while, 4 p.m. and Tranquility, they'll be forced to move out of this place because the circle is slowly closing in onto their area. And they find another knock, they find another elimination against Tranquility, and Tranquility in their vehicle. Unfortunately, those bullets won't connect until now. One gets knocked down, and that is actually the complete elimination of Tranquility, finally, by the hands of 4 p.m. Vendetta.
And exactly at this point, healing themselves up, but he gets spotted, he gets down, and it seems like it is another point for them. That's going to be a team elimination once again for 4 p.m. Vendetta, and now down to the last four teams right here. And it seems like they're just dropping like flies right here, down to the last three teams with two members alive and well. But for now, there's three members for the other team and for the third team as well, with four members still very much alive. This is gonna be very close for these two teams. Except for the third team right here with just a few members remaining at this point, and it's just gonna be a matter of who gets the higher ground and who gets the first bullet inside. It just really gets through that body. But for now, still taking their time, would they would probably move forward, but they get spotted right there. They're very vulnerable at this point. They can just get shot, but it seems like they're looking for another way to attack them in another angle.
Yeah, and gee, they're in trouble. They are a moving target, but however, no one's taking that risk trying to spray at them. So that's going good for them. All the while, Aztecs over here, crosshairs out, scopes, trying to find a kill. They won't be finding that just yet. All the while, Outrage Esports, they're over here at the shore. They are favored by the circle, so they're trying to get those sprays in against NG, find some knocks. And actually, that's a whole elimination. That's a whole elimination from the sprays of Outrage Esports. And so now, all they have to do is worry about Aztecs. Aztecs is currently bombarding their vicinity with a bunch of grenades. And so, whether or not they'll be picked off, that's something that we'll find out very soon.
For now, last two teams remaining all alive for these three members. Still, one of their teams, however, low on health, manages still to try to fight back against them. But for now, just using the trees to their cover, they will try to confirm the kill by shooting them down, but it just won't happen for now. Another shot goes in as well, hoping to get them down. But at this point, they're covering. They're using the vehicles and the trees for cover, and they do have a little bit of a high ground advantage right here. The grenades go in, hoping to get one down, but a kill right there on the side of the off screen is happening at this point. They're just waiting to confirm that one. It's just gonna be the last member for this team right here before they can actually grab this chicken dinner. But I think right now he only has the vehicle to protect him, and it seems like right now they're rushing in straight into him, just trying to look for ways to take him down. The shot goes in, the vehicle goes in, and they go in. They will take down the last team, and that would mark the winner, chicken dinner.
That confidence from Outrage Esports, they know. They just know they were pretty much, confident that, let's go on the aggressive. We know that we outnumber Aztecs, and so they went in, they went aggressive, they went in for the push, and they bagged this winner chicken dinner. And so these are their individual team stats. You can see actually Python bags 4 eliminations just all by himself with 482 damage. For Claws, however, only 2 eliminations. However, it's still just a little bit less damage than Python at 422. And so for the rest of the players, there's 1 elimination on the fourth player and a dead shot, unfortunately. 0 eliminations. However, they do have 145 damage. And so congratulations once again to Outreach Esports for bagging this winner chicken dinner and also a few eliminations for themselves.
Mm-hmm. And there we have it once again. We are now down to the last three matches, which you will see later on. But for now, match number 9, summary right here, 8,600 plus total healing. And there we have it. Our MVP from the side of SDMZ and G bringing back their glory, which they had yesterday. That's going to be Aman24, just bagging a few kills once again to his name with, of course, 3 eliminations and a damage, of course, just very, very big. And for now, the top players for match number 9 as well. We will follow that with a few members. That's gonna be the 4 p.m. Vendetta. What their member actually grabs the number 5th spot for the top player, to be followed by SDMZNG, and of course, taking the number 3 spot right here from NRS right there. And it's just gonna be a lot of kills from here on out. Though in this match, we didn't really get a lot of action, especially the number 1 spot right here only manages to get 7 eliminations to their team and placement points of 10, to be followed as well by another teams getting a few placement points and of course racking a few eliminations to their name, with SDMZNG getting a total of 11.
Yeah, 16 points for this map for the side of NG. So they're still pretty consistent in their play style, in their performance. And so I'm quite confident that they'd still be able to defend their spot for qualifying into the finals, and perhaps even defend their spot on the top of the leaderboards. And I'm sure they've crossed the 3-digit mark. And yes, that case, NG has 111 points. Coming in second, several points drop going in for the side of Lons Esports, still defending their second spot. But however, Tranquility, they're only 4 points away from overtaking Lons Esports. And so if I were Lons Esports, I'd be a little bit worried now. But still, Lons Esports, they're still in number two. And so, they can still qualify for the finals. And that goes the same with Optical Gamers. There's 61 points. And 2 Easy Esports, they have 59 points. For those teams that are in the lower, they still have a chance to catch up if they could just, get some good games in the bag.
And there we have it as well. To the second page for the overall rankings, we are now down to the last three matches, which will happen later on. And it's that this is just going to be the last few chances of all of the teams to try their best to get to the top five spots. The others, however, especially those at the top five, they're just trying their best to hold on to their current spot, especially in the first and the second, which I've seen them. They're just really trying their best to grab as much points as possible to also gatekeep other teams from trying to get into the top five spots. But for now, especially to the number five spot holder right now, they just have to keep that to get in order to be a part of the finals, which will happen in a few days.
Yeah, completely very excited for the finals because we'll be seeing the top five teams from Group 1 and Group 2 go against the top five teams of this group as well. And so we already have the top five teams for Group 1 and 2. We saw that in the previous days. And so really excited to see who will be playing against them from the side of the Group 3. And so once again, we'll be finding that out really soon. We are already halfway for the day number 2, and so we will be witnessing match or later on. That would be the last Erangel match for today. But before that happens, of course, we will be taking a short break. This will just be for a few minutes. So for those of you watching, just stay tuned and we'll be back after a few minutes. Once
We are now
again,
back.
yeah. Ah, sorry.
Yeah, anyways, we are now back, guys, into match number 10 for this over this series. Once again, we are now down to the last day for group stage number 3, and just we are thrilled, well, with you, especially that all of these teams right here are just giving it their all. And at this point, this is gonna be their last chance to play with Erangel. And once again, we are your shoutcasters. I am Mike, and with me is Addy.
Yes, once again, we are back and we can see actually for the final Erangel map for the group stage. Finally, that flight path is giving some breathing room for these 18 teams. Going in from the western part of the map all the way up to the slight northeastern part. Still, there's a lot of choices for these teams, for these players to as to where to land. Of course, Pachinki and Georgia Pool, they're both accessible. Maybe not the military base, however, but so far, that circle is also very, very nice. Very, very, mabait in Tagalog. Very good to these players for tonight. And so for final round, these teams, they will probably not have as much early game engagements as the previous two maps, but still, it's something we'll find out really soon.
And with that, yeah, I agree with you. It does look like very considerate. There's still a little bit portion of that circle that's just gonna belong to the sea. But for now, the flight path is still very, very generous, is what you said. And the other teams right now are a bit on the outside, but it seems like they will have to go later on inside the circle. But with that in mind, there are just other teams that will have to greet them once again. But for now, seems like most of them are already in the circle, and later on, as soon as the looting stage ends, then there's just gonna be bloodshed from here on out.
Yeah, and hopefully that happens really soon. But of course, with that flight path, it's not likely. But over here, too easy. They landed on the same drop off point as another squad nearby. And so, whether or not we'll be seeing a potential pick off of a whole team later on, that's something that I'm hoping to see really soon. For now, of course, we're not seeing that just yet. 4 p.m. Vendetta, they're just landed into Erangel, basically. And so, game over esports. And just like any other team, really, they're just on the looting phase, trying to take control of the buildings of where to, trying to get those guns in, those ammos, and trying to prepare for the late game, really. And so for now, everyone's just waiting to see if they can find some maybe engagements, some early pickup, some early elimination. But for now, none of them can soon, so we're just down to waiting.
For now, all of these teams with ARK as well with 4 p.m. Vendetta, they're all gearing up. Though it's just very, very early, we can't expect a lot of action that will happen later on for all of these teams. However, once again, still in the looting phase. Nothing's gonna happen, and it does look like for all of these teams right here, they're not really sharing a few spaces with a few teams. That's just gonna be good, and we would probably witness a slow burn for all of these teams, especially that they have the places all to themselves. They just have to loot properly, and that gives them later on a freedom, especially on how they're gonna end this fight. For now, still they do have decent armor. They just need a little bit more higher than that in order to fight the other teams that will be engaging them later on.
Yeah, hopefully that happens really soon. Because right now it's still quiet. We're moving on to the quiet phase of Erangel, and that's just to be expected because that flight path was just giving everyone some room, some breathing room to, walk around in. Everyone just has their own place in the world. They have all the space in the world to do looting. And, we can see from the kill feed actually nothing's quite happening. Unfortunately for Fnatic, however, they entered the lobby with only two players. And so already with that numbers disadvantage, it's not looking good for their side, especially that they're at the bottom second on the leaderboards. They need a lot of points to eventually catch up to the top 5 if that's their goal really. And so for now, they have to make do with what they have right now. They're in the game right now and they only have 2 players, so they just gotta do the best that they can with what they have.
For all of these teams with game over OTF, um, actually looking at their status right now, they need to uh, bring out their A game right now because they're currently far behind, and they just have to try their best to be a part of the top 5, which we'll actually see later on. But for all of these teams, once again, they do have chances, but they just really have to bring out their A game. That's all. And 3 more games into it, this included, and they really just have more chances to fight later on if they really bring out their A game. If they manage to get a lot of kill points, then that placement points, especially with the chicken dinner, they will have a chance. But for lately, we've been seeing a few games that have ended a little bit faster, a little bit slower, but the points haven't really been up to 20 plus because an off-screen kill right now. But again, once again, they do have a lot to catch up, especially with their kill points, with their placement points, in order to get ahead of the other teams.
JF finds an engagement against Game Over Esports over here. One already down on their side, and Game Over Esports are trying to push into the area, trying to find the engagements that they need. All the while, JF, they attempt on the sprays a while ago, and now they're just putting on smokes, trying to revive one of their players. So far, game over. They're not pushing into the area just yet. And JF, they're trying to go on the aggressive, trying to be proactive on this situation. But so far, both teams are on a standstill. Both teams are just waiting for the right moment to strike. One player from JF gets on a vehicle, tries to rotate out of the area. The other 2 players, however, they're still not out of the woods. They haven't managed to revive one of those players in JF. They're getting a hold of this area very early on, trying to get control of the building. And so far, lots of things happening in the kill feed as well. LNN is in trouble. One person needing the revive. Already one player eliminated off of their team. All the while, Lons Esports also have their own story to tell. They have some sprays in, trying to get their shots in the bag against another squad. And so, whether or not one of these teams will get eliminated off from this engagement, something happening really soon, because at the distance we can see a player very low on health on their car, but so far they've got away. But over here, taken from their side, Lons Esports finds a knock on their side, and that's a complete elimination to their squad's name.
And there we have it. Spots a kill right there, and hoping to finally manage for another team to get eliminated as well, especially that they're all alive and kicking for now. I mean, some of them are just barely making it out of here alive. But we do manage to find a kill right there off screen, and just waiting to confirm that one once again. And it does seem like they will leave with the 3 members remaining. They will still have to fight later on, but 3 members is still gonna be good for all of them. The other teams, however, with Sons of Lawns, they do manage to actually get this area right now, and they just have to hide from here and look for cover at this point. And with this, they're just gonna have to hide and wait, especially for those teams that are gonna be crossing to their area. We do manage to find another all-screen kill once again, just waiting for the confirmation. And before that, JF will get eliminated.
And that's one less team to worry about for the rest of these squads. 17, in fact, still in the game. Lons Esports, after that engagement, they're gonna have to rotate out of there and find a better spot to take control of. And so that's exactly what they're doing. They're in their vehicles, they're trying to get away from the area, trying to find another location to spot in. But optical gamers over here, on the other hand, they hear those vehicles and they're saying in their minds, this is a potential pickoff for their side. This is potentially a bunch of eliminations to their name. And so they're going to take that chance. They're going to get into position and try to see if they can get some pickoffs. And so, taking position, Lawns Esports at the distance. There's another squad nearby as well in a school. Lots of things that are gonna happen real soon. Lots of lawns. They do have controls of the building within the area, and so that's one advantage going into their side. They have lots of cover. They have lots of places to kind of work with. And so for now, we'll just have to wait and see who's gonna come out alive. Because Lawns Esports, they have to worry about a squad within school and also a squad nearby. That would have been another squad, and so that would be optical gamers actually. And so we'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen now.
Mhm. And there we have it once again. 17 teams still alive and kicking, though some of the teams have already won and two members remaining, which is going to be a difficult time for them. For Fnatic right here, they do manage to find a spot, but it seems that he has been spotted by another team, and it's going to be it's going to be the perfect time right here if they get spotted before he gets taken out. But for now, once again, he does seem to try to shoot them, but it looks like he has revealed his location right here, and he goes down. Dragonade just erases him once again, and that would mark the elimination for Fnatic. The Molotov right there will hurt the member from the side of SDMZ and G, but all is well, especially that they have a place to themselves. Another team seems to have passed uh, by them, but right now it's just gonna be looking good, especially that they didn't have that info in their hand.
Aztecs probably heard all that gunshots, however, and so whether or not they'll be going for this engage, I think that we'll have to wait and see. Because so far they're not stopping anytime soon. They're still in their cars. They're still kind of going away from that vicinity actually, and so maybe they're not gonna take this fight just yet, or maybe they're finding another, because we can see they are actually just turning in circles. Did they spot that last player at the distance? Maybe they'll try to get for that one elimination, that one engagement. But so far, I don't think they have the information they need just yet. They're just making a bunch of noises with their vehicles. And that will go to the same with Too Easy as well. They'll be rotating out the presumably to get into a better spot inside the circle. And so that's the same idea with 4 p.m. Vendetta over here as well. And presumably a lot of these teams. And so we'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen next.
The other teams right here, though, with 4 p.m. Vendetta, they will manage to find a team right here, and it's just gonna be a matter of time before they get into an engagement. They're still not sure if they're gonna commit for this, but it does look like they're preparing for an engagement, which will happen if they do show up and they manage to actually connect those shots. But for now, 4 p.m. Vendetta is also taking the time. The vehicle comes in, but he manages to get a few kills down, waiting for the confirmation. The spray goes in, takes him down, and it looks like the other members right here are just gunning him down for PM Vendetta once again. But for the side right here for MG, they will manage to find few kills of their own before managing to spot another vehicle. The shot's trying to connect, but it will not be enough just yet. They managed to heal themselves, however. So for all of these teams right here, still managing to find to actually survive to fight later on. But for now, once again, the other teams still trying to catch them, hoping for engagement right here. But ARK will go down, and now seems like he gets spotted right here, and he'll have to move back in order to heal himself up.
Lots of things happening. NG. They find a possible engagement against 4 p.m. Vendetta. Tries to get the scopes out. 4 p.m. already in trouble. One player needing that revive. So NG trying to get a good angle against 4 p.m. Vendetta so far. They can't find it just yet. They're still getting their scopes out. They can't find that kill. And 4 p.m. they're also waiting for the right moment to strike. Unfortunately for the one member that needs that far, their squad mates can't find the opportunity to revive them just yet. They don't want to go out in the open. They don't want to take that risk of getting another player on the red. And so for now, they have to worry about getting some shots in. And so far, 4 p.m. Vendetta are in trouble. NG does find the damage they need. They get those sprays in. And NG, they're trying to find more. They're trying to find more knocks on their side. And so one down, that's actually two down on the side of 4 p.m. Going good for NG right now. But so far, they're still biding their time. NG rotating out of the area, trying to find a better angle. And 4 p.m., they are in trouble. They have to find a way to survive this situation.
And definitely, at this point, the danger zone already started to hurt, but it's just not. It won't be enough. But if they try to cross, then they get spotted. But we have an off-screen kill right there, confirming the elimination for AZT. And there we have it. Our another team has been eliminated. Still on this area of the map, would probably look like we will be getting an engagement. But for now, all of these both of these teams right here are already being surrounded for 4 p.m. Vendetta, being surrounded, and they will have to move back here, especially with NG will probably spot, especially that the play zone is just gonna be against them from here on out. Though they will probably manage to, I will still wait for the circle to shrink later on. But at this point, ooh, there we have it, another off-screen kill right there. Just waiting for the confirmation once again. And still, the other members for NG looking for another area to take control.
And NG, they had what they came for, and there's a drop nearby, and so there's a potential that they'll get good guns after that really fruitful engagement against 4 p.m. Vendetta. And so they reap the rewards of what they came for, and now they're gonna rotate out of the area and try to find some more kills, because so far the location that they had control of, the one where they had stand between them and 4 p.m. Vendetta, it's getting swallowed up by that circle. And so they have to find another place to stay in. And this will be true as well to Game Over OTF very soon. Because as soon enough, they're gonna get swallowed up as well. They have their vehicles in the bag. And so, actually, Game Over OTF, they're also in trouble. They only have one player left standing, and so he's gotta worry about surviving at this rate. That's the best thing they can do in this situation as their last player standing. Possibly get those placement points, maybe some potential eliminations, as we can see by Game Over East getting those sprays on, finds a knock, sees another player 1 versus 1, and with that, actually, they lose that gunfight. And so, that is the complete elimination of Game Over Esports by the hands of Optical Gamers.
And there we have it. Seems like at this point in time, the players have started to slim down right here. Another engagement. Spots a team right there, and he tries to gun them down, but he goes down as they were just able to dodge the bullets right there. He was just killed and just waiting for the revive from there. I mean, with his teammates. For now, however, still trying their best to look for openings, to look for ways to shoot them down. But does look like vehicles also getting gunned down. They have to move away, especially right now that danger zone is starting to hurt. 4 p.m. Vendetta, still the last member of the team, manages to find a vehicle right here, which would be able to move him into the play zone. But it would be unfortunate if another team would just spot him right then and there, and they would just be able to gun him down. For now, he does manage to find an enemy right there, and will probably move away from that. But no, he spots him, goes for the shot, leaves with very low HP remaining, and wonder if he's gonna fall down, or this would still be continued for the side of 4 p.m. Vendetta. But it seems like for OG right here, LNN, they will be eliminated.
Yeah, and Optical Gamers wipes off another team off the map. Although those sprays didn't get as much damage as they wanted it to be, still, still that's a decent amount of engagements, rather elimination side. And so, just watching out for the rest of these players. Of course, we can see NG getting bombarded by a bunch of shots. All the while, Tranquility, very good positioning, very high up in the map, and so not looking good for WKD. However, the third party rather, in this situation, they have one member that's already eliminated and one did a. Although they have that opportunity to do just that, one player who's gonna be able to revive their last player, and so they'll be back and running after this is all over. They'll get their heals up, and they'll have the opportunity to go into this engagement, perhaps bag a little bit more kills on their side. And so that's exactly what they're gonna do right now.
And once again, for all of these teams, it looks like it will probably slim down later on, especially that the circle will probably shrink in a few minutes. But for now, grenade elimination will occur right there, just waiting for the confirmation as well. But it looks like the other side from Optical Gamers right here, they're kind of just spreading out with teammates with vehicles, of course. But for now, it seems like for this team as well, they're inside the house, which is gonna be safe for them. But it's very dangerous that they're at the center of the circle, because then maybe someone could just throw a grenade when they're not aware and they would just go down. For the side, speaking of down, however, OTF will go down, and that would also mark the end for STF down, of course, to the last 8 teams remaining, and just wondering on how this will end later on.
It'll end quite fast because there's a lot of squads in this very, very small circle. So Lons Esports, they have control of a building, and so that's one advantage that they have. On the other hand, that goes the same with Too Easy Esports, although they've lost 2 members on the red. For here, Tranquility, speaking of losing members, they lost 3 members since Envy is hovering over the higher elevation on where Tranquility is currently being positioned off. And so since MV, they have the grenade out. Trouble with Tranquility. Takes a lot of damage. Sprays coming in. And that will be the end for Tranquility on the hands of Since MV.
And definitely that would mark their end. Now down to the last 7 teams, we might actually see an end to this. But right now, it seems like the Lawns right here, they have taken control of this house just a grenade, and they will go down. But that wouldn't be the case. WKD, on the other hand, they will go down. Mark getting that second, seventh place. For now, the other teams, Optical Gamers, trying to get them down. The grenade goes in, the shot goes in. Once again, the shotgun ending them both, and that will give another opening right here for Optical Gamers. Left with low HP remaining, gets inside the house right there for safety, but he tries his best to run against that danger zone, but it will just take him down, and that mark the end for OG.
Yes, one more team down, and we're down to 4 teams left in the final Erangel map for this group stage. And actually, for this whole group stage, not just group number 3, this is gonna be the last Erangel map before the finals. And so, lots of things to be had, lots of exciting things to be had, especially for the teams that fare the best, who could say that, Erangel is their best map. They have to do their best. And taking a look at the leaderboard, Sins is quite in trouble. 3 players on the red, only 1 player left standing, and if they get picked off, it'll be the end of Sins MV. And all the while, other teams still standing, that would be Oxford, Too Easy, and OTR. So far, looking at the map, it seems that there's a squad that's just positioned inside of this building. They're just dancing, knowing that they have the position's advantage right now. And they are in the middle of the circle being favored by that circle. Esports, however, says that's not gonna stop me for trying to get those sprays, and this is the last 4 teams standing, and so they're taking that risk, giving away their information, and so Crosshairs out since MV is in trouble. And so once again, they're getting eaten up by that circle. And now they're just sacrificing their players, getting in that car. They have to survive. That's their priority right now, and they're walking in all the
Oh,
way
there we
to
go.
2ZZ. And so, pushing into the building, they're taking that chance. Grenades going outside of the building into the windows. And so, lots of damage coming in from all sides. Too Easy is in trouble. Although they have the positions advantage, that the while leaves them with a target on their backs. And so Oxford trying to push in with very, very little health. And they're taking that risk either way. Because this is the last few seconds of the game. Lots of things are gonna happen in a few minutes.
Definitely lots will happen in a few minutes from now. We'll find an off-screen killer there. Elimination for the side of Oxford right here. He goes out, but he goes down as they try to shoot him down. Since MV eliminated once again, it's just down to Too Easy versus OTR right here, and they're just taking their time, especially OTR, they have a little bit of a disadvantage that he's very out in the open, and also the numbers disadvantage leading probably his death. The grenade goes in but will not catch anyone off guard just yet. Too Easy Esports, on the other hand, they're just really prepared for this one, and another grenade was in, hoping to get that one down, and it does manage. Of course, it will not be enough just yet, just a little bit of damage before that would mark the chicken dinner for game number 12 of group stage number 3. There we have it, Too Easy Esports.
Wow, too easy esports. They just held down their position, and that gave them the winner they needed. All the way up to number 4, they managed to get 14 match points for this map. And with 4 total eliminations, their total points goes up to 73. And so, once again, congratulations to Too Easy Esports. And with that, their individual player stats, we can see that Pacific actually bags 2 eliminations with 228 damage. Coming in next would be Chubby with 1. That goes the same with Oko 69 and Solid 69. Unfortunately, they have 0 eliminations so far, 21 damage. And so once again, congratulations to Too Easy Esports. This is a win too easy for them because they managed to secure the building that pretty much saved them. They just had to hide over there. Then the circle did their thing and just ate up the last team standing. And just was that was good for Too Easy, and hopefully we can see that kind of momentum pass on to the next two Miramar maps for their squad.
There we have it as well. Since MV Esports will have their MVP for this match, that's gonna be Winter right there. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, this will mark the end for match number 10. Later on, we will see the last two games, which will be Miramar, before we decide on the last five teams that will be joining Group 1 and Group 2 for the grand finals. Now, still with MVP right here with a whopping 1000 plus damage right there and 7 eliminations just to his name. Assist with 1 and knockouts with 8. And there we have it. And of course, since MV Esports, they have managed to get a lot of kills for this match. And of course, our top players to be followed as well with the other teams. There we have it with Oxford right here, with NG, and another member from Oxford, which just shows that they have performed well in this match. And of course, NG will get the number 5 spot for the top player.
Yes, and once again, congratulations to our top players for contributing so many eliminations to their team, especially on top one with 7 eliminations. Look at the damage though, 1.1k damage from just one person. So that's a lot of bullets connecting for their side. And of course, once again, these are the match rankings. Since actually backs the first place in terms of match rankings with 15 points. And with that, that's 10 eliminations and placement points to their name. And coming in second is Too Easy with 14. That goes the same with Oxford Esports, 14 points as well. OG comes in at fourth with 12, NG with 11, Lon 7, and so on and so forth. So a lot of teams actually don't have any points from this map, and so they'll have to step up sooner or later, especially if they're still vying for a spot in the top 5 in order to qualify for the finals. And for the squads that so far they've secured their spots, and then they're pretty confident that they'd go in to the finals. For the likes of NG, it's possible we'll definitely be seeing that, because look at that. Look at the gap between NG and Lons Esports. That's quite huge, almost 40 points. And coming in second, of course, Lons Esports. They're 5 points away from Tranquility. They could get overtaken, but still, I'm confident that we'll also be seeing them later on. Tranquility coming in third, 81 whole points as well. Tying for fourth and fifth is Too Easy and Optical Gamers. But still, the next few ranks, there's still a chance that they can, basically outrank the throne top 4 and top 5, especially if they have a few good games in the next coming matches.
Mm-hmm. And with that, our second page for the overall rankings, chances are looking pretty low right here for these teams, especially that now we are down to the last two games of Miramar, which even though you will try your best, surely the others also will try their best to hold on to their five spots, especially that they will go onto the finals. For now, once again, these are your teams right here on in the overall rankings, and it seems like the judgment day has come for all of them before they will move to the finals. Our top players overall as well. There we have it. Of course, from Too Easy Esports, Chawi01 getting that number 5 to be followed by SDMZ NGs, Zeke66 right there with Lons following that one, Shava in their team right there. Tranquility, Titan is also taking that second place, and the first current top player from SDMZNG, Aman24.
Yes, same names actually. And so I'm really excited to see how these 18 teams will fare in Miramar. Especially, this would be the last two chances for these 18 teams to qualify for the finals. That would be for the group stage. Of course, lots of exciting things to look forward to in this Miramar map. And once again, we can expect the same Miramar map, maybe slow game depending on the flight path and circle. But of course, we'll be seeing that later on. We will be going on to a short break. And so for those of you staying, watching this stream, stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, this is Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4, Group 3 stage. The last day, day 2, in fact, the last two chances for these 80 teams to qualify for the final. Once again, we are casters. My name is Annie, and with me, what do you think about this Group 3 so far?
Well, thank you so much for that, Annie. And in fact, for these teams, it seems like there just have been a lot of potential teams that will be moving to the finals. Still, many enough though that it's just gonna be thrilling to actually know later on which teams are just gonna make it to the finals. But there you have it. Though there have been some potential teams that are actually going for a lot of points and going for a lot of placement points. It seems that it's gonna be a very hard time for the rest of these teams because they are just also as strong as them. And if they want to be part of the top five teams, they just have to be able to just exceed through their limits.
Yes, and hopefully that happens really soon. Hopefully we can see these teams show us what they're made of. And yes, this is their last two chances, so they have to give it their all. And so looking at the flight path, it's very biased towards the western side of the map, and so we can expect that perhaps there will be several early game engagements. Of course, these teams, they don't have a lot of choices as to where to land. Even Los Leones, it'll be hard to drop into. Maybe it's possible, but with a little bit of luck, and maybe they'll have a bit of trouble. And speaking of trouble, we're gonna see that circle really soon. And so far, right now, we can already see two was there in trouble. Already one player got eliminated on their side, and we can chalk that up to the fact that they don't even have the most ideal of guns just yet. And so they're scrambling around trying to find the best guns that they can possibly get. And now Too Easy Esports, I'm in trouble. They lose half their health. They still survive, and that's the important thing. And behind this wall, they got shot down. They already lost half their health dropping from that height, and so that punishment coming in from the side of LNN, that's just wiped off one more player from the side of Too Easy.
And yes, exactly. As they find a kill right there, still hoping to get a lot of points later on, especially for this team right here. They will probably hold on to their spots or just really surpass everyone else. But for now, still looking good for all of these teams. They do have chances, but again, it's just gonna be the last two games. Both Miramar, they have to give it their all and exceed through the limits in just to really make sure that they make it to the finals. For now, once again, all of these teams, it's just gonna be a chill period for now and just really loot up. But for this team right here, it seems that they will be getting a lot of engagements later on.
Yeah, and hopefully that happens soon because that's what the teams need right now. They need a lot of engagements, they need a lot of eliminations so they can get those points. And over here, Game Over OTF, they have the potential opportunity for these engagements because there are two other squads in the vicinity. And so LNN, they're also squad as well. Those sprays are coming in. Game Over in terms of location. But that last squad member, they're in trouble because they are surrounded by the other players of Game Over TF. Behind this, he gets shot down, gets eliminated off, and that's the end for one of the members of Too Easy Esports. Too easy for Game Over OTF, really.
Definitely. And of course, all of these other teams right here, if you actually look at the leaderboard as well, it seems like for these teams, they do have a bit of a fighting chance, but it's still too early to judge. Especially, they're at the looting phase. Maybe some are already aiming for a lot of kill points. But for now, all of these teams right here still waiting to get geared up before they finally commit. But while that was happening, it seems like we do get a few kills on the kill feed right there, and with that in mind, that's just gonna be very disadvantageous for those if they expose themselves. Then they can just really they can really just get eliminated early on. For some of these teams, however, just my intrusive thoughts for this one is, what if someone just jumps very far and then maybe a lot of damage from that, from that height. But it seems like right now they do actually travel a lot. But for this area, it seems like another team will have to share this one, especially with Game Over OTF.
Yeah, still. It's not over for Game Over OTF and LNN. They are in the same vicinity. And so there's a potential that we'll be seeing a fight real soon. But that's not happening just yet. They spot each other and LNN gets sprayed down by the hand. EF. And so that's a potential elimination. They're trying to crawl away on the staircase, but to no avail. That is one more elimination to the side of Game Over OTF.
And there we have it. Once again, the first team to get eliminated right here, which is surprising. They currently hold the number fifth spot, and if this goes down the same way in the last match, then it would be very hard for them to be able to be a part of the finals, especially right now they're holding the number fifth spot. The other teams as well still preparing, but I think in that area there just going to be a lot of engagements for other teams as well. It's looking pretty slim for a few of them, especially they only have two members. That's just really unfortunate. And if I mean, if the only game plan is just to really wait out and go for placement points, but for now that's just gonna be too early, especially that all the teams are also alive.
Yeah, and there's not much choices for these players, especially if they can't find an engagement just yet. 4 p.m. Vendetta, however, there's potentially a game to be played over here. There's a squad nearby, there's another caller nearby, and of course, LNN and Game Over OTF is still not over for them. Then again, Miramar has huge buildings with several floors, and so this will be quite a while before their story will end. 4 p.m., however, they're finding a potential engagement. They're pushing into the building. And so, will they find the engagement that they need? That's the question that needs to be answered. But for now, we're gonna just have to wait and see what's gonna happen because so far we're not seeing anything on the kill feed. No one's shooting anyone down just yet. There's no knocks, no eliminations, no matter where in the map. And so, everyone's priorities right now is just looting this place up. But for now, Outreach Esports and 4 p.m. We might be seeing something. Flashbang coming in, blinding one of the players of Outreach Esports. Now with their vision back, what's gonna happen now?
For their side here, still, I mean, they do have that area right there, but they will have to share that with another team who, is still very aware of that spot. So one tries to shoot them down, doesn't doesn't kill them. However, still they're actually going in straight into it. They're actually cornered right here. Two members remaining, and it seems like the enemies are just alive and well and just really waiting for them to actually come down. The grenade will go in, hoping to get someone down, but of course it's just gonna be the smoke and hoping to maybe lure them inside that smoke and to get a few kills of their own. But it does look like for the side of 4 p.m. Vendetta right here, they're trying to fight back. That's not gonna be enough just yet. This will take a pretty long time for both of these teams.
Yes, we're all waiting. We're all waiting for something to happen between 4 p.m. Vendetta and Outreach Esports. And so far, none of them is initiating any fight. None of them is initiating that engagement. But 4 p.m. is ready. And look at that! 4 p.m. Vendetta, they take them by surprise.
Oh,
Fortunately, it's 4 p.m. Vendetta that falls. And all the while, one player needing that revive. However, OTR, in the blink of an eye, they do get wiped off by the hands of 4 p.m. Vendetta. And so that will be goodbye for now. That will be goodbye for the second to the last map.
definitely. They will still have a last chance, but it will be slip. Though they're holding the current seventh spot, they will have a chance if they just really manage to get a lot of points later on. But for now, all of these teams are wait, just really doing their best to get a lot of kills before they can, so that they can have a lot of chance to be a part of the top five. But for now, once again, for Oxford right here. Still, they're at the danger zone, and they will probably look for an area to take control.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna have to do now. Oxford Esports, they're outside of the play zone, so they gotta do something. And of course, they are doing something. They're in their vehicle, trying to find a good place to stop by, but unfortunately, that vehicle tumbles over. But they survive. They do survive. They have their health in the bag, and they're almost within the play zone. And so now all they need to do is find a place to kind of secure and then just wait out for any potential engagement. Someone take away this guy's driver's license, come on. Now they'll have to disembark and they end up just healing themselves. Well, that was pretty entertaining, but yes, that is the story of Oxford Esports. For now, they're in trouble. They're upside down in the car, and so we just have to wait and see. Wait, actually, so there's someone nearby, and so are they like that guy is just gonna help them get up. They're experienced in this kind of thing because that's just one try and now they're up and running once again.
Definitely, and helping this fellow teammates as they move on to another area to take control. And with that in mind, with Oxford Esports, it's looking pretty good for them. So they would just need to try their best to be a part of the top five later on. The other teams as well, it seems like they have spotted Oxford Esports, and one will just be eliminated. Fnatic finds that kill right there with just two members, and they're just doing their best right here to fight them and to just really try their best to get a lot of damage in, a lot of eliminations to their name. The chances are still looking pretty slim, but they're just good at being a nuisance to all of these teams.
Yes, lots of things are gonna happen real soon, especially with Fnatic spotting Oxford Esports. And so NG, there's one player that needs to be revived, and they already lost one player to an elimination, so they're down to two people if they can't get that revive. And so it looks like one of their members, they are rotating out place. It seems that they're gonna go for a disengage rather than try to revive their down. And so cutting their losses, they're gonna try to secure another spot. They're still out in the open, and so if there's a squad nearby, they could potentially be picked off in this situation. But so far, they're having luck on their side. Much is happening just yet. And so now they're just gonna have to worry about where they're gonna position themselves next.
Definitely. With that one though, these teams, it seems like they have started the tempo on how this game will actually move, especially with all of these teams starting to get a few kills of their own. Still not enough yet, but if you do look at the map right now, the teams are probably be greeting each other. There's just many teams right here at the play zone, especially that it will shrink later on. But for now, it seems like when the circle will stop favoring them, then they will have to get inside that and they will just have to eliminate as many players as they can. But, with Miramar, it's just a big map, a lot of mountain ranges. So it will take a little bit of time before they can confirm kills.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that we should be expecting. Since MB, however, they're expecting another squad to push in to their vicinity. That would be NG. However, NG is on the numbers disadvantage. One goes down, and so with that, that could be the end. This could be the end of NG, and that would be the end of NG because of that. They were only two players and they were going on the aggressive. And again, they had no choice. They were at a disadvantage in terms of positions, and all they had to do was kind of do a Hail Mary, try to see if they can get an elimination in the bag, and so far they couldn't find it, not even one from that situation. And so for now, NG says goodbye for this second to the last match of this group stage.
Definitely saying goodbye to that. Though another chance for them late than the last match later on, but that's just gonna be hard to come back now. For the rest of these teams, however, still they have a chance to fight back, especially with all of these teams once again probably colliding with each other right here. But once they have to fight it later on, then it's just gonna be a hard time, especially that there are just a lot of teams around them as well. Probably a third party, who knows, maybe a fourth, but in the off screen right now, we'll spot a kill right there. And it actually saw a vehicle right there. He went for the spray, but the shots didn't connect. And so he gets out of the vehicle, gets spotted by the bullet right there, leaves with a very low health, remaining goes to heal up, but it does looks like he's getting bombarded with bullets right now. He tries to fight back as one shows up, and now he's just very low on health. The grenade goes into Molotov, trying to stop them, trying to deny that area, and he goes for a heal right here while the teammate that actually went down is just gonna ask for revive. The confirmation kill will go as well. The grenade will go, trying to end him, but that won't happen just yet.
Yeah, and lots of things are gonna happen real soon. Tranquility is still in trouble. There's a Molotov fire near their area. And so we're just have to wait and see. Both of them are on a standstill. Both of them are just waiting for the right moment to strike. Thorballs coming into the area of Tranquility. Takes a lot of damage. They're in trouble and they're gonna get pushed by the hands of another squad. That will be Lons Esports. And so Tranquility's losing a lot of health, getting bombarded by grenades one after the other. So Lons Esports are going on the aggressive to push in to their vicinity. And so Tranquility inside this building, how long can they hold out in this position? One after the other, their players fall. And now there's just one player left standing on the side of Tranquility. And Lons Esports, they're confident. They're marching in, trying to find their last elimination for this engagement. And now, Tranquility, just waiting. They're just waiting to see if they can get anything out of this situation. And if they jump out of this building, they'll be in trouble. And so they know just that. They know just that. But they have given away their information going into the here to get the sprays. It actually gets one knock, but takes a lot of damage. Only on half health now, and all alone in this situation. All alone, the last person of Tranquility. Will he survive? This is the question that needs to be answered right now.
Exactly. And with that in mind, there we have it. The few teams making their move as they try to actually get a lot of points from here. But in this building right here, it seems that it's just gonna be a lot of bullets, a lot of grenades. But while that was happening, it seems like we will see the end for one of the teams right there. And once again, a grenade goes in, still gets the damage, but that won't be enough. It just leaves him with a bit of a health remaining. He goes down as he tries to show up. And now it seems like his teammates are also aware of that, and they just try their best to get him as well. Another peeps in, but he will go down as they have eliminated their team.
That would be the end of Tranquility by the hands of Lons Esports. And so Lons Esports, they do walk away with a couple of eliminations to their name, but still they lost two players in the roster. So it's a give and take. It's a give and take. And it's not over for them, however. Game Over Esports, they heard all of that bullets coming out and about. And so they're gonna try to swoop in, try to see if they can potentially get some engagements. Because they have some information and now they're out in the open. Perhaps they can go and try to a little push against Lons Esports. And so Lons Esports, they might be in trouble. They're only down to two players. And Game Over Esports, so far they're four. And they find another squad nearby. Tries to get those sprays in. Get some damage in the bag. However, Game Over, they're so in trouble. One player needs that revive. And so they can get that rescue. They can get the rescue that they need. They can get that revive as well. And so all is well, all is well. One vehicle going in to get that finisher off. And so that's one down as well to the side of Game Over Esports.
Exactly. Once again, as we see right here, it seems like they have made their move, and at this point in time, the rest of the teams are just gunning them down as well. And it seems like he's just getting cornered right here. The grenade will go down, but while that was happening, it seems like we will see an elimination for their side as well. It seems like he got spotted right there. The bullets went in, and he's just gonna have to move back, go in for a heal before trying to fight back. But for now, of course, he needs help from his teammate right here. It seems like he spots one. He shows up. He goes down. Ooh, there we go. He's just avoiding the bullets right there. But he goes down, he manages to catch him off guard, and he will find the kill on that one. But again, while that was happening, it seems like we do see an off-screen elimination for their team.
And lots of things are gonna happen really soon because we are 19 minutes into this Miramar map. Ark trying to throw some grenades actually lands into a damage against Game Over OTF. That was crazy aim. And that with that Game Over OTF, they need to revive one of their players. And one more player down. Actually, that would be the end of Game Over OTF. But ARK so far, they're trying to see if they can get those sprays in, get some bullets in the bag, going down this staircase 1 versus 1. So far, they can't find the damage just yet. And now with that knock, however, game over. They had another player standing by, and with that, that is the end of Arc Esports. And that is once again game over OTF. They walk away with another elimination, although they did lose one member on their team.
Definitely, with that one, marks there. Actually, we have a glimpse now on the remaining teams and how they will perform. It's just gonna be very risky for all of these teams, especially that only some of them have a lot of members that are alive. Most of them are left with one member, and it does seem like we find a kill right there off screen. For now, the rest goes on and on for all of these teams. Another elimination for another team, and there we have it. It seems like we are now witnessing the top 8 teams that will be battling it out. I think we're nearing to the end of match number 5.
Yes, we're definitely nearing the end because we're down to 9 teams. And lots of these teams are very low on squad members. Lots of teams are actually just one-man squads right now. Lons Esports, however, 2 people left in their team, getting those sprays on track to see if they can find one more. One more elimination to their name. And so grenades coming in. Will they find the damage? Seems that won't be the case just yet. No knocks, although some damage taken from a distance by 4 p.m. Vendetta. Scopes out, trying to see if they can find another shot in the bag. Game over Esports, however, on the other side of the map, they also throw. And so several people at a distance lining up those shots. However, that damage won't be going on to the other side. However, he will be taking a lot of damage himself. Game over Esports is not over for them just yet. They have several other members still standing. And so they're going good in terms of numbers, but how long can they hold out this situation? Especially if they have to worry about 5 other teams nearby.
Exactly. And with that, I think the last 6 teams right here battling it all out. It does look good for one of the team though. They're all alive, but we do find a lot of eliminations right there, and Lons will go down. And now we're down to the last 5 teams right here. The 3 of these teams looking bad for their spot, and it does look like one of them gets eliminated. That's gonna be OG. The rest, another team will go down as well. That's gonna be the Sons of Lons. And now we are down to the last 3 teams.
Those in 3 teams, those will go down really, really fast. However, game over. They still have 4 members. That goes the same with WKD, but now 1 member down on the side of WKD. That makes it basically a 3 to 3 on game over. No, rather, game over still has all 4 members standing. They're bombarding the area of KD with grenades. However, they're also answering back with their own throw balls. One down on the side of WKD, AZT. How still one person there, somewhere out there, somehow surviving all of this. And so for now, eyes on game takes a lot of damage. One knock and one more going down on their side. And so Game Over Esports manages to wipe the floor with WKD. And now all they have to worry about is where is the last member of Aztecs? That is the question that Game Over is asking. Because where is this guy? Now they're just manhunt. They know they have the numbers advantage. And so, they have several choices here. They can wait out this person and just, rotate around the circle. But, however, it seems that they will be going for
Oh, he
that
goes down.
elimination. And with that, that is the end of Aztecs with the victory of Game Over Esports. The second to the last Winner, winner, chicken dinner for this group stage.
Exactly. There we have it. Our winner chicken dinner for once again for game over. Esports currently holding, of course, the spot, but they will have to try even more in the last match to be a part of the top five. Still with a match points of 20 plus, it's gonna be amazing as well. Total eliminations again, and the total damage for 2,000 plus. It's just really amazing for the team, and it seems like they're starting to show up, but it would still need a lot of effort for them in order to be a part of the top five. Once again, here's your winner chicken dinner for match number 11 or of group number 3. This is Game Over Esports.
Yes, with several match points to their name, and now we're down to the top players. Number one, going to Amon 24 with 24 eliminations. I believe this is the overall because there's no way someone would get 24 eliminations. Also, it's possible, yes, but it's not possible if they're not the winner chicken dinner. And so, once again, congratulations to Game Over Esports. That was an interesting last match, especially against WKD. And so these are the players. Of course, we can see that Game Over Rex actually bagged 11 whole eliminations by himself in this game. And so that is a monstrous kind of performance coming in from just one player with that, with 1031 damage all to himself, coming in second. Actually, the other player had 665 damage, and so that's just so much damage coming in from just one team. And so it's just no wonder that they bagged that winner chicken dinner for tonight for this first Miramar map. So, this is good momentum on their side. There's still a possibility that maybe they could make it to the top five if they this really consistency, or not just like an equal amount of effort. They have to step just a little bit more in order to really try to clinch the top five possibly.
Exactly, for Game Over Esports. Their member as well will get that MVP with a whopping 11 eliminations to his name, and the damage as well. Just amazing. And at this point, all of the other members, it seems like they have also done their part to help secure the chicken dinner. And with this at this point, Game Over Esports, it seems like they are starting to show their true potential. And for the rest of these teams as well, that's just gonna be amazing. The last match, it will happen later on, it could be a good sign for Game Over Esports. And there we have it as well, the rest of our top players for match number 11.
Yeah, and we can see Game Over has three people on the top players for this match. That'll be X's. That was not Rex, that's X's. And coming in second is Doc. I believe that's Doc with four eliminations. And Ryu Day, rather, in number four with three eliminations, with all a decent amount of damage. However, Lawns Esports does bag the third place and, of course, fifth place as well, coming in with another squad. And all the while, these are Game Over has 28 whole points. Look at that! 18 eliminations to their name. That is crazy. And of course, coming in second is Lons Esports with 9 points. A very huge drop, almost 20 points, 19 in fact. And over here, number 3, OTF with 7. That goes the same with Aztec. And so many of these teams, they need all the points that they can get in this last match. There's only one more chance for these 18 teams to make it to the finals. And so for those who still have a chance and who are still vying for a spot to qualify for the finals, they have to work extra hard in this last map.
Indeed, especially the last chance, the last match later on, we will witness the conclusion for group stage number 3, and we'll decide on which teams are just gonna move to the finals, along with the group 1 and group two's top 5 as well. Now, there we have it, our overall rankings. SDMZNG holding the current spot with 123 points in their bag. to be followed by Lons Esports as well with 85 points, RGC Tranquility with 84, Optical Gamers with 77, and 75 points for Too Easy Esports. Game Over Esports, on the other hand, they will still have a chance to grab the number 5 spot later on, as well as Outrage Esports and 4 p.m. Vendetta, and also Sons of Lons, which they're at their 50 plus point mark. But again, it seems like this will be a very big challenge for Too Easy Esports now that they're currently trying their best to hold on to their spot.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. And just looking at the overall rankings, I think we have a pretty good idea as to which teams we'll be seeing in the finals. And for the side of our number one ranker, NG, actually, you know what? If I were them, I could actually basically miss my next game and still qualify for the finals. Can just put my feet up, pretty confident that my 123 points can qualify me for the finals. And for Lons Esports, that goes to the same to them as well. They have a pretty good gap, about 10 before the next number 3 spot. And so, for these teams, there's only one chance left, and there's not much chance that they're gonna get overtaken. And so once again, the top players, you can see Tranquility Titans with 24, actually tying with Shava from Lons and Amon from NG as well. All with 24 points, just differing just a little bit on the side of their damage. And coming in fourth is N for JJEY from Lons, 17, and Zeke 66 with 19 points from NG. And so those are your top players once again. And so this was the second to the last match of this group stage. We will be moving on to the last chance for group number 3 to prove themselves worthy of the finals. And so with that, we will be seeing you in a few minutes to witness just that.
We are now back once again to witness the conclusion for today's match, of course, with group stage number three, and to witness, of course, to celebrate the top five teams that will be moving to the grand finals along with group one and group two. We are your shoutcasters once again. I am Mike, and with me is Annie. Now, Annie, what is up?
And, this is quite exciting. This is the last chance for these 18 teams to qualify for the finals. And so lots of things hinging on this last map. These 18 teams, they have to do their best in order to get as much points as possible for this last game. Match number 12 for group number 3. And so, in 2 days' time, we will be seeing the finals. And really looking forward to that as well. I'm looking forward to see the top 5 teams of each of these stages. Really good teams, a really cream of the cream, and however that saying goes. And so once again, we're back to Miramar for Group 3. We're seeing this flight path quite biased towards the east this time. And so, of course, Los Leones, it will be accessible for now. And lots of these teams, they'll have less chances, less choices of drop on points, but still, they'll have to make do with what they have right now. And we'll have to wait and see if there will be any early game engagements later on.
Definitely. For the side of Miramar right now, though, we're biased at the right side right here, going in a little bit of a slanted line. The circle, if this will show at the left side, then that's just gonna be very challenging. But for a map like Miramar, where there's just a lot of mountain ranges, a lot of buildings as well, then they can see cover with that, or they can stay at the mountain ranges to get some coverage and to get kills potential enemies that are actually just near them and could actually they could actually take them down. But once again, for these teams, it does look like they're a bit of dispersed with all of them.
Yeah, and that's the case right now. You can see from the kill feed that definitely proves your point. But LNN over here, they might be finding the first engagement. But for now, priority is on getting as much loot as possible before engaging in this fight. Right now, LNN, I think they're a little bit ready. They're trying to push in. They might be pushing into the area where the other squad is. And so we'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen now. Guns out. Guns out definitely with not the most ideal of arms just yet, but they have to do something at this point. It's kill or be killed with LNN and the nearby squad. And so, very soon, Arc Esports and LNN, something's gonna happen. Already one down, one knocked on the side of Arc Esports. And so, that's a good sign. That's a good start for LNN. And now, LNN trying to go aggressive, shoots another person down, knocks one more person down on the side of ARK. And so, with that, that's three whole eliminations already on the side of LNN. And now they just have to hunt down the last member of ARC. But so far, the last member is hiding quite well. And so, LNN, they'll have to look a little bit more harder to find their last elimination.
Definitely. And with that in mind, all of these teams right now getting those eliminations, marking the actually beginning, setting that motion right there for the last match for tonight. And seems like from the ARK Esports right there, he managed to find one, tries to get the second one, but he fails as he go down, and that would mark the end for ARK Esports.
And good thing for LNN, actually, it was just a knock on their side. And so, unfortunately for ARK, they don't get any eliminations from that engagement. Still, LNN, they have all four players still standing. That's a good trade off because they still have all four players standing on their side, although they have managed to wipe out Arc Esports. And so for the other teams, we can actually see there's another squad that found two or rather three eliminations to their name. That would be Lons Esports. That's a good start for them. That's definitely a good start. And so we're looking forward. We're looking forward to what's gonna happen next. No, 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 that's not the case. Is that the case? Does Lons really have eliminations to their name? Okay, we'll just have to see later on.
Definitely. And for those of these teams right here, still it is looking good for them. Though some team right there only has two members remaining, that's gonna be hard. The remaining teams as well. They're looking pretty good for NG still alive with all of those members. One of them left with low health remaining for Launch Esports right here. It seems that they have this place all to themselves, and that's just gonna be good from here on out. Now for the other teams, however, still it seems like for most of the teams they have the places all to themselves, and they would probably move later on to the play zone. But for now, it seems like they have secured the vehicles for Lawns Esports.
Yeah. They'll have to find another area to secure because this isn't the most ideal of places. And of course, they've looted the place up, and so there's nothing much to be done in that area anymore. And so they'll just be finding another place to secure, finding another position somewhere more ideal, and perhaps maybe find some engagements along the way. Speaking of engagements, we did see something happening in the kill feed, and JF, they have one member needing that revive. And so, let's just see what's gonna happen next. There might be some more knocks going down. So that's exactly what we're gonna see on the side of Sons of Lawns. They have a potential engagement in the back, but so far they can't find the right angle to strike just yet. And so this will just be a waiting game between these two squads. And for us, we'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen next.
Definitely with that one right there, it seems that they have spotted, just a few of the teams right here. Seems that they will probably go for an engagement, but for now, it seems like for Oxford Esports, this member right here is very isolated and will probably face a lot of difficulties later on. The grenade will try to get that one off, but it seems like he has canceled it right now. Maybe go for another one, but as well that was happening, seems like from Oxford right here, he manages to get a kill, and they just managed to confirm that one, adding a point to their team. And now it seems like for this building right here, still it will take a little bit of time to finalize on which team is just gonna make it out of here alive.
Yeah, so that's the question that needs to be asked right now. And for now, Oxford Esports, they do have one elimination already. Against Sons of Lawns. And for now, they're gonna try to find another elimination to be had from this engagement. So far, they can't find the right angle yet. But over here, JF, they're not doing quite well. They're down to two members left. However, that's not gonna stop them from trying to get shots against Game Over OTF. However, Game Over OTF, they're not going down without a fight either. Crossfair's out. Scopes trying to find that kill. Gets a lot of damage against JF. Already half. And so JF, what will they do now? They're not in the best of positions. And they don't have the numbers at. However, Game Over OTF, they need to revive one of their players because one of them is on the red. And JF, they're just biding their time, just hiding from all the damage. But Game Over OTF, what they can do is kind of rotate out of the area and get on the battle. However, JF, they thought they could get away, but however, that won't be the case. Game Over OTF says, you're in my path and I'm gonna take you down.
Exactly. And it seems like they did take him down, and this is up to be to these last remaining teams right here, especially now that JF has been eliminated. It will give them a lot of time later on to fight back, and it does look like it sets the motion for these remaining teams. And it's just gonna be a matter of which five teams are just gonna make it out of here alive. As what I've said a while ago, there are a lot of few teams that are challenging the current five spot, but for those that are remaining in the top five spot, then they have to do their best in order to just make it out of there alive. For a few of the teams, however, they have secured their spot and will be surely moving to the grand finals.
Yeah, as there's some teams that I'm quite confident already pretty much secured their spot for the finals. However, for some of these teams, there's still a chance that they can overtake top five, maybe top two or top three. But however, saying that, Sons of Lost loses another member to the knock. Ferd is behind this door. Will we see a one versus one? That won't be the case just yet. But oh, Oxford, they're going on the aggressive one versus one finally. But unfortunately, it's Sons of Lawns that wins that. unfortunately for Oxford, they lose one more player. It might not have been the best of approaches, but Sons of Lons, they were just waiting. They heard those footsteps and they were just quiet, and that's one thing that they did right.
Exactly, and it seems like for this team right here, they have secured that one, but it will take a little bit more of time right here to finalize the execution on Sons of Lons or the Oxford right here. Still, at the end of the day, these two teams would probably meet each other's demise right here. But for now, still, they do have this area shared with each other, so they will probably take a little bit more time to finalize that. But for other teams, it will look pretty good, especially that we're just gonna reach a 10-minute mark.
Yes, it's quite early in this map, and so that's to be expected. There aren't a lot of players that got eliminated just yet, but Oxford, they tried to get those sprays in and quickly crouched down, and so they were just testing the waters. However, we can see one side of Sons of Lawns thanks to esports. And so there's one player from Oxford that's quite low on health. Sons of Lawns, they stand up once again, trying to get those sprays, and all the while there's someone who pushes in to their vicinity, gets one. And so one more just finding one elimination after the other. So we'll just have to wait and see. Oxford, they're gonna push into this place. And will that happen? Within the balcony, we can see one knock on the side of Oxford. That was a huge wow. That was just a frying pan to the face, and with that marks the end for
The
that
bonk.
player of Oxford Esports.
Yes, exactly. And the prime pan kill right there. It was just really amazing for both of these teams. And I think at this point they also just would like to have fun, which is the most important part of the game is just to have fun. Being competitive, being too competitive. That's just some other aspects. But of course, this is the Maldives Championship Contender Series season 4. It's the competitiveness will always be there. But right now, it does look like the other teams are having a hard time, so they're just having fun. And back into the game, it seems like he manages to find someone, manages to land a few shots right in, tries to go in for another tap, but it seems like it just wouldn't be enough as he was able to go outside. And now down to the last few minutes of the game, it seems like there are still a lot of few teams. Ooh, he manages to go down surprisingly after a few taps to the head, but it does look like another member right there gets killed off screen, and another will follow through as well.
And so crosshairs out, the scopes trying to scout out any potential eliminations. And speaking of which, all the while, Sons of Lawns finally finds the gravestone on the heads of Oxford Esports. And so that is goodbye for them for this group stage. That was their last chance. And so hoping for the best for the leaderboards later on. And so for now, for everyone else, especially, and just waiting, really waiting for who will emerge into the top five of this leaderboards. And looking at the leaderboards right now, there's several engagements going out and about in several parts of the map, especially for silence of since MV over here, they find their own elimination, and so Aztec as well, they get completely wiped off the map as well. And so one after the other, we're seeing team eliminations, and so that was their last chance. Game over OTF, however, they are trying their best here, trying to survive behind this car. But however, a lot of their members, they're losing a lot of health, and so they need to reset before they get back into the game and try to engage.
Definitely. For the remaining teams right here, though, for game over OTF, it does look like it's pretty good for them, especially that they're still alive with three members remaining. One is down, but the rest still has a fighting chance for game over OTF. They just have to really try their best right here to be a part of the top five. They'll need to do more than that. And with that, I think back into the game, one of the members will go down. The rest of the game over OTF as well, looking for a better place to reposition. But right now, it seems like for Too Easy Esports, they managed to spot a few enemies right there. Maybe hope to get some few shots in, but they're just too far away for them to commit.
Yes, too easy. They find a potential engagement against a moving vehicle in the vicinity, but they can't find the right shots. They can't just line up the shots right now. Of course, they will be giving away their information with that. That's the risk that they're willing to take, and with that, that's one knock on their side, and they get that full elimination as well against the person from Sons of Lawns or Lawns Esports rather, and too easy. They're trying to see if they can get the last member of Sons of Lawns. So crosshairs out, they spot that moving vehicle. And that's a potential elimination on their side. So they're not letting it get away. How it is SOL that does get away at that point. So getting in to that van, they're gonna try and get chase at that point, that 1 point in the bag. And so once again, there's another situation coming in with Outrage Esports and another squad. And so he managed to get away from that vehicle elimination. However, he gets sprayed down, and that would be a knock on their side, on the side of Outrage Esports. And with that finisher, with that vehicle elimination, that is 1 point against them.
Definitely, the shot goes in again, and hopefully it gets in, but it wouldn't be enough. He moves back into another area right here, along with his teammates, to look for a better spot. Especially that they're just on the ground, they have to look for somewhere to just really give them a lot of value out of their guns under scope. But while that was happening, we do find an off-screen kill right here. The danger zone starting to catch up from them, and it does look like we're heading on to the next stage. The rest of the members as well, the rest of the team still manages to find a few shots right in, but they do discover another party, so they're being very careful. But for now, with Too Easy Esports, they're in a pickle, especially that one of them is down and will need some revive with his team. Now for the rest, once again, still try their best to find a few kills of their own. The grenades trying to connect right there before it explodes, and it does get a few kill, that elimination kill right there for Too Easy Esports, and they will lose one member, but still, despite all that, he manages to fight against them. For now, WKD will be eliminated.
Oh, too easy. Trying to get those sprays in. Finds two eliminations, one after the other. And so he will be reaping the rewards of wiping LNN off the face of this map. And so, too easy. They're just looting the place up. Trying to see if they can get their guns, perhaps ammo as well, some healing stuff. And now we're down to 11 teams left. And we're 17 minutes into this Miramar. And that circle is gonna get really small. It's gonna get real tight for these last few players standing. And so this is gonna be quite exciting. Once again, this is the last chance for these 18 teams. 4 p.m. Vendetta, they say this is the last chance. So we're gonna get those sprays on. We're gonna give it all that we have. And so far, they can't find the damage that they need just yet. Will that be a knock on their side? So far, they can't find it just yet. But yes, now that is a whole elimination of the team of Game Over OT by the hands of perhaps 4 p.m. Vendetta themselves.
Definitely. And with now, I think we are now down to the last few teams. And with that in mind, 17 minutes into the game, almost the 18-minute mark, we could probably see a lot of progress later on, especially that we're nearing to the end game of the last match for tonight. And it does for Game Over Esports right here. They're probably looking for a way to get inside the circle safely without the being detected by other enemies. So they're being very careful. I mean, they do have eliminated members, but for now, it's looking pretty good for them. Here as well for the side of Sons and Lawns, still looking good for them. They spot one, they find one, still hoping to get the shots in inside the vehicle right there, but they will still make it out alive. One member will go down, needing some revive right now. The smoke goes in, and while that was happening, it's gonna be a team elimination for the side of Game Over. And here we have once again Sons of Lawns Lawns Esports back into the action right here, reviving his teammate before they get into to try to actually fight back.
Yeah, and they're getting bombarded with crossfires in both sides, both north and south. And so, with this position, it's not the most ideal, but now they also have a chance to to get eliminations from both sides. And so now they're getting sprayed at. However, it's not a good look for them. It's definitely a lot of damage coming into their side, and they have to reset. And so far, they only have three eliminations to their name, and they only have two players left standing. And so for the side of Sons of Lawns, two players left on their squad, and they're trying to find some more eliminations, something out of this situation. Lots of things happening. We can see lots of damage to be had from all squads. Several lines of shots coming in on all sides. Actually, four different squads in the minimap right now. And so far, we can see some knocks, some eliminations. Slowly, the number of players is still standing and going down. Now we're down to 9 teams as well. One more action. And so with that, the circle is gonna close in, and we're gonna see some more action in the few minutes to come.
Definitely, we will actually see a lot of actions in a few minutes to come, especially not now. Looking at all the status of the members of each team, it does look like there are just a lot of teams right now that are alive with two or just one member remaining. Only a few, actually, only two groups have only all members intact and alive. But for RGC Tranquility, he will manage to find an enemy right there. But while that's happening, seems like since MV Esports will get eliminated. But for RGC Tranquility, once again, alive with two members remaining. For 2AC Esports, they will spot one, find one, hoping to get that confirmation. But a member from RGC Tranquility will go down, still waiting for that confirmation kill before they will get eliminated. 2AC getting eliminated, but what was that? The grenade just eliminated himself. And now down to the last five teams. Now, Annie, what do you think will happen?
Serious question. Does that elimination go to their team's points? But anyways, we're down to 5 teams. And so 13 players left standing. And you know what? Guy little he closed the door while they were throwing that grenade, and just bad timing. Let's cut him in some slack. And so we're back in the game. Tranquility's still alive. 2 players standing on their side. Lots of smoke, lots of visions going down. And so it's a little bit quiet. And that's unusual considering the fact there's only 5 teams left, and that circle's quite small. And so for those squads that aren't favored by the circle, they'll have to move sooner or later if they don't want to take damage from the circle.
Mm-hmm. So for now, you're now down to the last five teams once again. Two teams, however, still alive and kicking with the completely intact, really. The other three teams are just going to be suffering with two members each and a member also from the other team. But for now, an elimination will confirm and eliminate Lawns Esports right here now. Once again, with NG with the last member remaining, hoping to get the maximum placement points before they get eliminated, taking fourth place. And still, they would be moving to the finals. But for now, watching the other teams right here battling it all out. The shots goes in, he gets spotted and gets eliminated by another team right there. Just clearly waiting for a revive from his teammates right here. But for 4 p.m. Vendetta still alive and kicking, one member will need some help. And still, for RGC Tranquility, they will try to fight this one out. But for now, he gets spotted once again. Another member down. And here we have it. 4 p.m. Vendetta helping another teammate once again. But for RGC Tranquility is playing very carefully on this one and just taking them out one by one.
One after the other, players go down, and it's all meant for themselves. And we're down to 2 teams now with the elimination of 4 p.m. Vendetta. Bunch of sprays coming in that building. And so optical gamers, they're still outside of the building, and they know Tranquility's in there. And so speaking of shots, optical gamers, they're getting a lot of damage against themselves. However, they have the numbers advantage. They have all 4 members still left standing, and Tranquility over here, they do have the building to their advantage. But still, with the numbers disadvantage, they have to think of a way to pick off the members of Optical Gaming in order to have a good chance. And speaking of picked off, Tranquility gets picked off, 1 player on the red. And so, Optical Gamers just need to find the last member in order to really eliminate them off. And so taking a lot of damage would be Tranquility. Finally, that last shot from Optical Gamers with that jump shot, actually, that is a fitting end to the Group 3 stage. The winner chicken dinner going in to Optical Gamers with 52 total points and the match points with 16, total damage of 877, and total eliminations around.
Mm-hmm. And with that, there we have it. Optical Gamers grabbing that winner chicken dinner. Once again, there we have the stats right here. Still looking pretty good for them. I wonder if they really made it to the finals, and maybe we will see them. I don't know. But for now, it's just astonishing for this team to hold it out until the end. Even though they only got a few eliminations to their name, just a few damage, but still, congratulations once again for Optical Gamers for grabbing that winner chicken dinner.
Yes, congratulations once again. That was the last chance for these 18 teams. And so I'm actually very excited to see the leaderboards later on. And I'm confident. Once again, I'm confident that I probably know who the top 2 is. But as for the top 3 to top 5, it's still something that I'm not actually all that sure about. And so the MVP of that from Tranquility, that would be Maxi, 66, with 6 eliminations and 1236 damage. That's a crazy amount of damage coming from just one person. Maxi, what have you been eating for dinner? And so, once again, congratulations to Tranquility for bagging 6 whole eliminations from their MVP alone. So, what I'm excited to see is who are the rest of the top players. And with that, actually, the second place goes to SOL. Onyx will actually have 4 eliminations and 755 damage. OG Nanu having 4 as well. And Pacific is from Too Easy also gets 4. And RS retired will have 3 eliminations. And of course, you can see from the damage, actually a decent amount of damage coming in from these amazing players. Although Maxi, however, is a huge gap between the number 1 and number 2 in terms of damage. That's 1,200 200 damage. And so that's no wonder that Tranquility is actually ranked number 1 on the match rankings. Even though they didn't get the chicken dinner, they have 16 points. And coming in seconds, OG with 15, and so on and so forth. And so these teams, this was their last chance. And hopefully we can see your favorite teams on the leaderboards on 5 qualify for the finals later on.
There we have it. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, our match rankings for the last match of today. Tranquility reigning, getting that number 1 currently with 16 points to be followed, of course, by the second page actually starting with the Sins MV. No, actually, Tranquility didn't get the chicken dinner, but it they still got the number 1 rank for this match, especially that they got a lot of eliminations. For now, once again, our MVP for Tranquility, our MVP is Titan from RGC Tranquility, with of course a total of average eliminations of 2, and then the damage as well is just massive. Also, the assist also just really helpful for his teammate right here. Titan really showed up when they needed him the most, and the rest of his teammates were able to deliver, especially on what was needed.
Yes, you can take a look at his total eliminations. Actually, 24. I'm sure there are few more plays with 24. However, you can see from the average damage is 391. Some players don't even reach 391 in like single games. And so that's just a crazy amount of damage coming in from Titan. And so we can see actually, yeah, Shava does have 24 eliminations. And coming in third, Aman actually has 25. But that's the difference between the damage and also the elimination. Something to be considered as well. Coming in fourth is N4 JJE 19 and Zeke 66. Of course, from NG with 20 eliminations. Still a decent amount of damage. all the while proves why they are the players of this group.
Hmm. And there we have it, our top players for group stage number three. Everyone just um for me in this group, really, I was really invested in this group, especially that all of the members were able to shine and give out their all, and just really showed up when they needed him the most, and it seems like for these top five players, they have done their duty, they have done their part, and of course their teammate were able to back them up. But our favorite part for group stage number three, actually revealing now the top five finalists that will be able to battle it all out against the top five of group one and group two. There we have it. SDMZNG leads the charge with 129 points, to be followed by Lons Esports with 102, 100 points as well for RGC Tranquility, Optical Gamers with 92. 92. Oh yeah, and now two Easy Esports with 83. And with that in mind, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, our top five finalists that will be moving to the grand finals.
And yes, congratulations to the teams that qualified for the finals. I'm so excited to see you guys in the finals complete compete against top 5 of group 2 and group 1. And of course, as expected, NG did not get dethroned from their number 1 spot. Number 2, Lons Esports almost got overtaken by Tranquility by 2 points. And of course, Tranquility, they have, so that's a great amount of performance coming in from them. The great amount of consistency for the top two teams. Of course, NG and they're just there the whole time. Although Lots did get overtaken on day one, still, still they held on and they managed to qualify for the. And so for the rest of the teams, especially those who didn't, of course, there are more tournaments to come in the future. And so, hopefully we can see you sometime soon, and hopefully maybe one day you will qualify for the finals and we'll see you, on the league as top 1, top 2, maybe top 3 as well, because everyone did a good job. Everyone did a good job. Everyone had points. Everyone had a decent of eliminations as well. And so once again, for all these teams, congratulations. Thank you for participating. For the top 5 teams, we'll be seeing you in a few days.
Hmm. And it seems like we are now complete with our finalists right here. Group one with the top five, group two as well, and group three. And we would actually see them in the finals, and it's just gonna be 3 days once again. Of course, day one is usually where they get to know each other. Day two is all about just garnering a lot of points, and day three, being able to just stick on to the number one spot, and of course to their places. But for now, again, I'm just really excited for all of them.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that as well. And so that marks the end for the group stage of Maldives Championship Contender Series Season 4. In a few days' time, just stay tuned to the social media. They will be announced schedule for the finals. And for now, that will be in 2 days' time. And so, for all of you tuning in, and especially for those favorite teams who qualified for the finals, we hope to see you in the finals. And hopefully, we'll see some really exciting. But for now, of course, we'll be saying good night. That would be the end for our stream. And so, thank you guys for tuning in. And we will be seeing you for the finals later.